Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Master Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. How are all of you? It's so great to have you with us. I see all those smiley faces from all around the world. We have an international audience here on the Jim Master Show live. Yes, we do. They call themselves the Lovities. That's right. It's pretty cool to have an audience that likes to call themselves Lovity viewers. It happened by mistake, as often some of the most creative times and the creative things that are created happen by accident. In the summertime, I was saying the show is about inspiration, positivity, light, love, and levity. And I said love and levity just a little too fast. And I said levity. And all of a sudden, when I said levity, the viewer said, stop right there. We want to be called the Lovities. So our viewers from all around the world, we have an international audience. We welcome everybody from wherever you're watching. Everybody is welcome to the Jim Master Show live. Doesn't matter your political bent, your gender, your income, your zip code, or anything. This is an entertainment lifestyle talk show series for everybody, where we are bringing back the lost art of conversation. Some of those talk shows you remember from the past, Johnny Carson and Dick Cavett, Dick Clark, David Susskind, Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas. And we're blending sort of that old school talk show series style with the modern twists and the modern vibe of today. And we've been doing this show since about late April of last year. It's an extension of my professional work as a television and radio and multimedia personality and host, journalist, actor, writer, producer, presenter, stage MC, and voiceover artist. And we started it back in late April. We've done, I think it's something like over 280 live episodes daily, just about 7 days a week, with guests from all fields of endeavor and wealths of success from everywhere, from all over the globe, and from television and film, music, Broadway, Hollywood, science, health, wellness, you name it, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration, authors, and more to come. We're booked with guests all the way till just about mid-April, almost 7 days a week. And it's been that way ever since we started the show back in April. And it's really cool. We really, really love it. It's what we've created here, this wonderful community of viewers and guests and all of us coming together with me as your host and executive producer of the series. It really touches my heart. Thanks to everybody who continues to share the links, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We would love it if you did that. That allows us to continue to give you that great content and all these terrific episodes. We really don't treat this as a stream or a podcast. We actually fashion this in the form and fashion of a television show, which is really cool. Again, using some of my background in TV, bringing in the television lights, building this home studio here. We're in the greater New York area, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston in the United States. And it's a pleasure to have you here. We hope you're doing well today. If you're not, if you had a bad day, a little grumpy with all the craziness that's going on in the world, don't worry about it. We are here to put smiles on your faces. That's right. That's what we're all about. Putting smiles on your faces. We're here to tickle your fancy with great entertainment, information, and education. We always learn something new on the Jim Master Show Live. Now, without spilling this, I toast you and you and you and you. It's really cool to have you guys here with us. Can't start without a sip, right? Everybody looking good. See all these comments. Lots of comments already piling in here to the Jim Master Show Live, which is really, really cool. We've got an amazing guest. He's a dear friend. He's a legend in the industry, and he's beloved. And we're talking about MARC LEVINE. And we both happen to be originally New York guys and from Long Island, New York. Yes, it's amazing. Probably we were neighbors. Our mothers probably shopped at the same supermarkets too and used the same detergent. I don't doubt it. He is a revered and renowned, not only Tony, but Olivier Theater producer, Broadway, and so much more. And he's won so many awards. He's a tremendous investor. He also invests in productions and product that he truly believes in. And he's got an amazing story back growing up on the island, as we call it, growing up on the island, where when he first was really turned on to theater through his family, through his parents, his mother, who was involved in community theater going to talk about his early beginnings and some of the amazing productions, Broadway and off, that he has been involved in over the years and continues to be involved in as a producer, an investor, a creator, and a lover of everything theater and supporting it in such an illustrious way. So it really is an honor and a pleasure to have him here on the show. And we're going to welcome him in just a second. But first, of course, we like to welcome our Lovity viewers, as they are called, the Lovities from all around the world. Let's see some of the comments that are already here. Tess LaBella, who's a wonderful actress and comedian and voice artist in Florida. Good evening, Mr. Lovity and all the Lovities. So happy to be watching tonight. And welcome your special guest, Mark. I already let Mark know all about the whole Lovity thing. So he's ready to be... he can handle the Lovity wave that you send him. So bring on the Lovity wave. He's ready to be called a Lovity. And look, within seconds, you guys are already calling him a Lovity. You're a Lovity now, Mark, an esteemed member of Lovity Hall and the Jim Master Show Live. Welcome. I second that emotion, Tess LaBella. Willie, who's watching in the Netherlands, says, hello, Jim, here in Holland. We're going to enjoy your show again. Hello, Lovities. Greetings from the Netherlands. Good to see you as well. Willie, I hope you're doing well, and I think everybody is doing beautiful here. Mary Bishop, who's watching in Florida, says, hello, Jim and fellow Lovities. Good to see you as well. Mary, thanks for joining us here once again, one of our faithful Lovities who is watching our show. Of course, we always welcome everybody watching on all the different platforms, and nice to see everybody here. Look at all these great comments that are coming in. It's amazing. A lot of the comments are the guests or the viewers welcoming each other, which I think is quite amazing. Hi, my Lovity family from Karen Campbell Green, who's watching in Nova Scotia. Nice to see you, Karen. Hope you're doing well. Linda Odell is watching in Florida. Nice to see you, Linda. Good evening, Mark. You are now a Lovity. He gladly accepts. Jeff Newman is here. Mark is the best. Good to see you, Jeff. Welcome to the Jim Master Show Live. You are right. I think you're right, Maureen. Lovity wave, I call it a tsunami. It really is a tsunami, that is. Jeff says, Mark brought me into the theater producing world, and I am proud to call him my friend. Beautifully said, Jeff Newman, and welcome to the show. While you're there, hope you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would love that. Tess says, Mark is beloved. I concur. All of you, all of us are, right? It's one big happy family. Good evening, Jim and Lovity friends. From Christine Clifton, who's watching in North Carolina. We welcome Tony-winning producer Mark Levine to the show tonight. I look forward to hearing more of his career and shows he has produced. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Linda in St. Augustine, Florida says, looking mighty handsome in your hat, turtleneck, and jacket, Mr. Lovity. Thank you very much, Linda. I appreciate that. Maureen, who works in the medical field, God bless her, gotta love getting out of work early enough to say hello to everyone and welcome our special guest. Welcome to Lovity Hall, Mark. Yeah, you always race home from the medical center to make sure you don't miss our show, right? And hi, Jim and all Lovities from Merlin, watching in Ontario, Canada. Absolutely. Tess LaBella says, very handsome. I agree, Willie. Wow, Jim. Thank you, Tess. I appreciate that. You guys are so kind. Kathleen Walker in New York City. Hi, Jim. Hi, everyone. Hope all is well with you all. Kathleen Walker is in New York City. Thank you, Kathleen. It's good to see you as well. Willie, handsome man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You sure you have your glasses on, Willie? Thanks. I appreciate that. Willie in beautiful Holland. We were there on a TV shoot last year and a TV shoot in Holland the year before, and we loved it. Hi, Jim and everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Looking forward to an exciting show with inspiring conversation and Lovity from Crystal Nolan, who's watching in Connecticut. And Tess LaBella says, we are happy to be here with you, Mr. Lovity. Thank you very much. It's always good to have you here, Tess. And don't forget to say hello to your Aunt Marion. We'll have to have your Aunt Marion back on the show soon. Julia Crane is here saying, hey, Jim, good to see you, Julia. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here as well. And we welcome everybody who's watching from all around the world. Cleveland is reporting for duty. Kathy Short in Cleveland. Good evening, Jim and Lovities. It's so nice to see everyone tonight. Good to see you as well, reporting live from Cleveland. And Wozniak says, hello, Jim and Lovities. Good to see you, and welcome to the Jim Master Show Live once again. Chris Burke is here. Hello, everyone. Looking forward to watching my friend, Mark Levine. I added dear. Somehow I saw the word dear and I added in. So we'll just say your dear friend, Mark Levine. And we don't even call it an interview. We call these conversations. We're light here and fun. Juanita, as always, reporting for duty. She watches from South Africa. Hello, Jim and Loverty family. Good to see you from South Africa, Juanita. It's always beautiful to have you here. We welcome you. And Linda Odell says, good evening, Mr. Loverty. Good evening, Loverties. And tulips coming from Willie in the Netherlands. And these are so many wonderful Loverty viewers. Brett Levine is here. This is Mark's brother, Brett from New Jersey, a great brother and a supporter of his nephews. That is fantastic. You sound like my sister, and I'm a big supporter of my nephew as well. That's a good thing. Mark's a good man. Absolutely. Being supportive of the family. Chris says it's freezing in Chicago. Not too warm here in the Northeast as well. Hopefully it warms up. And welcome, Mark, to the best show and the best host. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me tell you a little bit about our wonderful friend here, Mark Levine. Now, if you are familiar with him, he is responsible for so many incredible shows. And he has brought to life really amazing productions. I love this photo. Recognize who he's with? Yes, Patti LuPone, of course. That is a wonderful photo, isn't it? Let me tell you a little bit about him. Tony and Olivier award-winning theater producer, Mark is so passionate about his career. And he says he's a latecomer to the show business world, but still his passion is really from an early beginning, thanks to his parents, Robert and Karen. And his mother was involved in community theater when he was a child. So he used to go with her to shows and he would usher too. And the first time he remembered seeing her was in Mousetrap. And 20 years later, he went to London and saw it and bought all the merchandise he could find with Mousetrap on it. Long Island, New York born Mark also recalls seeing Pippin, his first Broadway show with his parents. And he said he was excited a few years ago when they revived it on Broadway, but his schooling path took him in actually to marketing and into business. And as a young kid, he wouldn't play Little League, but he'd sell the sodas and the concessions. And when he was in college, his parents actually invested in the very first Broadway show, which was The Tap Dance Kid, starring Alphonse Ribeiro, of course. And the rest is history. Some of the incredible productions that he's been involved in are some of the greats. Company, Tina Turner musical, and of course, Hadestown, Tony Award winner, and My Fair Lady, the U.S. tour. The Sound Inside, Be More Chill, of course, and On Your Feet. That was beloved Gloria Stefan, of course. We got some photos of that as well. The Lifespan of a Fact, Carousel, and Finelli and the King, and Meteor Shower, and Heisenberg, and so much more. Indecent, Sunset Boulevard, Showboat, An Act of God, Sideshow, and so many more. He is tremendous in terms of his love for theater. And he really is a showstopper himself. Live and direct from New York City. Let's welcome our very special guest, Mark Levine. Mark, welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us, my friend.
Hey, Jim. It's so nice to be here. Thank you very much for having me tonight.
You are welcome, and we toast you. I don't know if you have anything there to toast with, but we shall toast you and stuff. There you go.
A water in my carousel cup. In my civic,
cheers.
Cup. Cheers.
Cheers, chin chin, slancha, and all the rest. Auf Wiedersehen, Mazel Tov. So how are you today? How are you dealing with all the craziness that we've been experiencing the last several months and still creating, connecting, and remaining sane through it all, Mark?
Well, I've never been sane, but as sane as I can be. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, things are changing for the better, and the people are starting to get vaccinated, and that's a wonderful thing. And, you know, people are getting back to New York. Theater is going to be alive and well, and whether it's in Holland or Canada or the United States, Broadway, we're going to come back, and we're going to be stronger than ever. And I can't wait for that to happen and to be part of the revival of Broadway. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what are some of the things you've been doing in the interim to stay connected and busy and creative with it all?
Well, on the non-theater world, launched a new business called Art Consultant Gent on Instagram, and a website where we advise clients on purchasing art, on how to sell their art, and it's as a way to promote new artists who don't have representation, and giving a voice to new people. And I've been using this downtime main business-wise, to search out and to connect with artists. You know, living in New York, our office is across the street from FIT, and it's giving me exposure to artists, and it's kind of trying to help promote new artists. So we launched a website, we feature art on our Instagram account, and it's just been really fun for me to kind of, you know, take my passion for art and try to promote other artists, and keep busy, keep vibrant, and keep alive, and keep connected. And that's what I've been doing on the art world. And it's been really fun, because under COVID and FaceTime, people's backgrounds are people are at home a lot, people are doing Zoom calls and stuff like that. And we've had people ask us to come in and help create their background and change their art around so that it looks like they're in different locations of their house. So it's been kind of fun. So we've been doing a little bit of that. That's the art world things that have been keeping me busy.
Which is really, really cool. You have your hands in a lot of different things. I don't know if everybody watching realizes that, but in addition to theater itself, the art world, and also model bartenders as well. Tell us about that. That's fascinating.
Yeah. I started Model Bartenders about 31 years ago when I got out of college, and I was doing working as a cater waiter. After graduating, I moved back home. I worked at night as a cater waiter, and during the day I got a 9 to 5. I was working in the garment center. Then I was working in the commodities exchange. And at night I would come home home to Long Island after working 9 to 5, and I would cater waiter at night from 8 at night to 2 in the morning, and then go to work the next day. And a lot of the cater waiters seemed to come from one guy, like one person was in charge. Yeah. So I slowly started getting this cater with some of my friends' work, and decided I was going to start my own staffing agency. And I started a staffing company, and then a few years later, moved into the city, and I was meeting a lot of actors and actresses and models that were coming to New York to try to break it into theater and to modeling, and decided to start a premium division of the staffing business. Because when you go to a bar or when you have a party of any sort, you pick your menu to a T. If it's a wedding or a formal affair, you pick your tux. Right. You pick your flowers. You pick every aspect of a party, from the food you serve but the one thing that you were unable to have a say in was the staff that served the food. So I thought, wouldn't it be an interesting idea to come up with a business model where clients could go online, take a look at the pictures on a website, and really custom choose their staff as carefully as they pick any other aspect of their party. So Model Bartenders was born 30 years ago, and now we staff events from New York to London, all across the world with cool. Staff. And it's great. And we say, if you're having a party in Alaska, you're having a housewarming at your igloo, we could staff it. And it's great, because we've given in 30 years probably 15,000 people who come to New York from all around the United States to try to make it the opportunity to work and to try to make a living with flexible schedules while they're really looking to break into art. And it's been great. Some of our staff have made it onto Broadway and have made it onto billboards. And to go to a show and see them on stage is like a great feeling.
It's got to be for you, yeah, because you're helping, facilitate that in such a beautiful way for them with the early ground floor level opportunities that you're giving them, right, Mark?
Yeah, it's been wonderful. I was at a party for On Your Feet that you mentioned earlier. That when it opened in Chicago, a few months before that, I was in my office and I was talking to potential investors for On Your Feet, and one of our former cater waitresses came in, and she said, "Mark, you're never going to believe this. My husband got his first Broadway show." And I'm like, "What is it?" And she's like, "He's going to be playing Emilio Estefan in the Broadway version, in the Broadway production of On Your Feet." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm involved." And when we went to Chicago and I met her parents, her father came up to me and said, "It's such a pleasure to meet you. We remember the day years ago when Brace called us up and asked for money so she could buy a black cocktail dress so that she could work for you as a cater waitress. And we want to thank you because of the work that you've been able to provide her, she's been able to stay in New York." So it was a full circle moment because here we are celebrating the opening in Chicago and her husband getting a role. And he's on TV today, and I smile every time I see him on TV. And it was a wonderful full circle levity moment. It was a
levity moment. Exactly. You got it, my friend. Levity is what it's all about. I was talking about early days growing up on the island, not in Long Island. Some people say I'm going in Long Island. I think you're actually going on it.
Yes, I agree with you there.
When you're from it, you know that it's on it. So how did growing up on the island inspire you? I know growing up on Long Island, we were very blessed because and there was a couple of other guests that I had on that mentioned something similar, that when you're in the New York area, you can easily take for granted. But some of our, like in 8th grade, some of our class trips were going to a Broadway show or seeing something at Radio City Music Hall or what have you, where people travel all around the country and around the world to come to see these shows. For us, having the access early, especially growing up on the island, was pristine. Did you have a similar situation where, a class trip or your parents took you into the city and you got a chance to see these great shows as well? And of course, your mother being involved in community theater early on for you, I'm sure was a great source of inspiration, huh, Mark?
Yeah. Yes, as you mentioned, she was a great resource. My parents took me to my first Broadway show and exposed my brother. I'm the oldest of 3, exposed my brother, Brett, and my sister, Brooke, to the theater, and took us, as you said, Long Island is very easy access to Broadway. So having that exposure, whether it was through class trips like you mentioned, or coming in with friends when I was old enough to commute into the city, or going in with my parents, just really was wonderful. I am a big New York lover. I have stayed here through COVID. I did not abandon New York. I wanted to stay and support New York, and I love it here. I've only lived outside of New York when I went to Indiana University for 2 years and Boston for 2 years. Otherwise, I've been a full New Yorker, and being here and being near, and I live right now 20 blocks away from Midtown, near the theater district. Even under COVID, I would take walks into Times Square to kind of to just be there and having that exposure. And now, as my life brings me more and more into theater, it's even more wonderful and more appreciative that my parents gave me that opportunity and exposure as a kid.
You even
You
were
know?
an usher too, right? I mean, you were involved early on.
Yeah. So yeah, I was an usher. And when you mentioned my parents invested in a Broadway show when I was 16, 17 or so. I saw that show 18 times. I loved it. Like when On Your Feet was on Broadway, I must have sat through it 200 times. I was like the 50-year-old groupie for On Your
Hmm.
Feet. And I loved it. And made some wonderful friends from the cast because not only did I want to support them while they were in the show, but would go and support them when they were doing things that were not related to the show. That was their outside path. And I would always go and support them. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved theater.
Mm. So for you, like you said, supporting here's actually a really cool photo of you with Gloria Stefan and yeah, the whole group here. Where was this? This was a great
Yeah,
shot.
that was the opening night in Chicago a few months before it played in Chicago before it made it to Broadway. And that was my second picture of what would be a lot of pictures. As I said, I went to Holland to see the show with her, and I was with her in DC to see the show in LA. You know, I almost have as many pictures with her as I do with my mom. But yeah,
It just
there it is. They're wonderful people. They're wonderful, wonderful. It's been a great experience being involved with On Your Feet. It's a great show. It's starting up again. There are some theaters that I read that are going to be doing productions of On Your Feet. I think one's in Florida and maybe one in Pennsylvania. I don't know, but I'll find out where.
That's
as
really
theaters
cool.
start to open, and I will go see it again.
Yes, absolutely. When I was talking earlier, when we were sort of doing the intro, I pulled up this photo. Tell us about this one with Patty. That's a great shot. I love her expression and I love yours.
I don't know if she would say that's a great shot, but I love it. That was Company. I'm involved with Company. I was involved with London as a co-producer. And then when it moved over to New York, I'm involved. That was opening night in London. And I figured it was my best opportunity to get a picture with her. So thus the shocked look on her face and the silly look on my face. So that was celebrating opening night in London. I'm looking forward to celebrating Company in New York, the Broadway, when Broadway gets back. It was the last show I saw before COVID, actually. I took a group of 120 friends and family and theater supporters the Monday night before the shutdown. I put a group together a month or 2 months in advance, which I do for all the shows I'm involved with. A theater night where I do a pre-party for friends and a photographer and a step and repeat, and I try to give my friends and investors the feeling of what an opening night would be. And you know, for most of us, it was the last show we got to see, a Broadway show before COVID. I'm hoping it's going to be one of the first shows I see, and a lot of my friends and I see him when Broadway reopens.
Yeah. I mean, what was that like being involved in that? That must have been fantastic, huh? Being involved in Company.
Yeah, I loved it in London, and Marianne Elliott is just such a phenomenal, I can't say that word enough, director.
Yeah.
And what she has done with the reimagining and the retelling of Company is just really special.
Yeah.
And having Patty continue to do it in New York under the direction of Marianne Elliott and a wonderful lead producer, Chris Harper, out of London, who's one of my favorite lead producers. I'm so excited to be on this project with him. And Katrina Link, who a lot of you people will remember from the band's visit.
Oh yeah.
And from a show I was involved with, Indecent, which is a beautiful play that was on Broadway several years ago, but was going to close, but the fan support kept the show running an extra month or so. Like
Hmm.
the fans did not want it to close, and I wish it was still playing today, but it will be. There is a future for Indecent, and if it gets to a town or a city or anybody that's listening, I strongly recommend it. It is a beautiful, beautiful play.
Tell us about that one for folks who aren't familiar with Indecent. So then, if it does come back, they'll run out to see it.
Well, what a lot of people will love is that I think it's only 75, 90 minutes with no intermission. So kind of like Come From Away. It's a beautiful story told in a very intimate, short story with beautiful music. But it's a play with music, kind of like Band's Visit had music attached to it. That's what I'll tell you about Indecent. And let you kind of
enjoy the rest. There's a little teaser there. What was your very first entree into becoming a Broadway producer as well as or a theater producer? Because you've done more than even Broadway. There's Off and other theater productions and houses, of course, most notably Broadway. But what was that first big one for you, that where the doors really opened up and the opportunities opened up for you, Mark?
The first credited show was the revival of Sideshow.
Yeah.
God, I don't even remember how many years ago. I had seen it in Washington I heard about it and went to the Kennedy Center in Washington to see it, and never saw the original, but loved the production that the Kennedy Center did, and reached out to the lead producers, and they gave me the opportunity for this to be my first credited show. So Sideshow was my first. It was wonderful. I'm still friends to this day with many of the performers that are in it, and I loved it. And it was the final night of that show. It was like something I've never seen. People were crying in the audience, and people went outside and they were like ripping down the front of the house and collecting things, and it was like, God, I'd never seen that on any closing night, but it was really fun. I didn't rip anything down that I will admit to you on your program,
right?
But that was my first, and it was a great experience because the lead producer on that show, Darren Baggert, is a really nice guy, and he made it a fun experience, which is why I've learned more and more from each show that I've gotten involved with on the investor and then producer side. And since, like you mentioned earlier, since Sideshow, I think it's been 10 or 11 shows, West End and Broadway. And I look forward to expand and doing shows in other countries.
What were some of the other shows after Sideshow that people might be familiar with that they didn't realize you were a part of?
Well, we talk about On Your Feet, but now with the Pictures from Glory, I think everyone knows that I was involved with On Your Feet. Well, let's talk for what's coming up and what we hope when Broadway reopens. It will be Hadestown, which you mentioned earlier, which won the Tony and is a phenomenal show.
Congratulations on that too.
Thank you. The tour of My Fair Lady is going to be resuming touring when that comes back. A beautiful retelling of that story. American Buffalo. David Mamet's American Buffalo. We were about to go into the theater when COVID happened. That's starring Darren Criss, Lawrence Fishburne, and Sam Rockwell. And looking forward to welcoming that show back. That show didn't even get to start previews. Company, as you mentioned, we were in previews. The Tina Turner musical that I fell in love with in London, now in New York, Adrienne Warren, is just something to be seen. Like, amazing. She was in it in London, and now she's in it in New York, and that show will go on tour, and everyone will want to see that show. It's a great. Tina Turner has an amazing story, and she's just an amazing person. And Adrienne Warren does such a great job of channeling her, if that's the word.
Yeah. This was opening night, right? Where you are here, this shot?
That was opening night. Yes. Oh, yes, that was opening night. It seems like it was so long ago, but it really wasn't.
I know.
I think under COVID, we've all been home, stuck inside. The fun activities seem so far away. But
I want to show you also in our research, we dug up a really cool photo of you, Mark.
Okay.
Christy Brinkley.
Yeah, she doesn't look a day. She doesn't look a day different. And
no, she doesn't.
I'm about 3.5 decades older than that picture. That's before selfies. So that's that's good. We're both in our brown leather jackets.
What was the event, the occasion?
A calendar signing at Brentano's.
Yours or hers? Whose calendar?
Not my calendar. Her calendar. Brentano's at Roosevelt Field in Long Island, where you and I both grew up. I ran into her again maybe 5 or 6 years later at a party the night before my PSATs, and I got to dance with her. I asked her to dance. She was sitting at my table at a bar mitzvah, and I got to dance with Christy Brinkley. Who knew?
Who knew, right?
Who knew?
And was she with Billy Joel at that time?
No, because I don't know. That's a very good question. I didn't know you were going to pull up that picture, so I haven't really done I haven't done my research on that.
Because you look a little bit like a young Billy there anyway.
What could have been? I don't even want to think. Could have, would have, should have.
Coulda, woulda, coulda. There's another business that you're into that involves product like this, right? Tell us about this. We were digging and seeing some of these cool things. It's just a couple of shots, but tell us about this too. This is very cool.
You're a good digger, Jim. I must say that.
Thank you very much.
Under several years ago, a lot of our catering and event clients started calling us up to ask us to do non-party planning, catering services. Like, could you come to my house and put up and decorate our Christmas tree?
Mm-hmm.
Or can you come to my house and pick up our Christmas gifts and wrap them and then bring them back to us? So things that didn't really fall under the traditional cater-waiter event planning services. So we would do that because we have a lot of model and actors on call that have a lot of time on their hands. And we have a lot of clients that have a lot of time, money on their hands and no time. So it was a way to match the two different sides of the fence. And under COVID, a lot of our clients started to ask us for various services that could be done from their home. They wanted singing lessons or yoga lessons or virtual cooking classes or things that. So we launched a website called PremierLifestyleManagement.com and an Instagram with the same name, Premier Lifestyle Management. If you look at the website, we're not the one in Tampa. We're out of New York, and it's an upscale. It's like a concierge service. Under COVID, a lot of people moved out of New York and they moved to the Hamptons or New Jersey or outer areas, thinking they were going to only be away or out of New York for a few weeks, but that turned into a month, that turned into 2 months, that turned into 3 months. So then clients were like, we're stuck in our house and we left all our clothes in the city.
Yeah.
Do you have one of your, do you have someone that could go to our house, pack it up, and then get in a car and deliver it to us?
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden we were getting our staff to go because they trusted us. They know us. We know all our staff. So we would start sending our staff to do stuff like that. Or a lot of people missing Broadway. So we would organize like shout outs from Broadway stars. Or if they couldn't have parties, but we organized virtual parties where we would deliver baskets of food to everybody, and they were able to do something a little more little more upscale or a little more fancy. Because again, look, no one had a birthday in the last year. We all had virtual Zoom parties, and so it was just trying to keep people together and help people out. But we're doing a virtual cocktail class in a few weeks, where a guy's going to gets online, one of the top bartenders in New York, and it's going to teach people how to make 3 drinks. So
very cool.
If any of the Lovities want to join, I will give 10% off if they say they were Lovity. They just have to email us through our Instagram account or Facebook or whatever. But I'd love to welcome Levity. Oh, and Jim, you come too.
Yeah, the Jim Master Show live.
If you're not filming, because every night you're doing
I'm live either with this show or my professional work on TV, radio. I know.
So that's how Premier Lifestyle came about. It was trying to stay busy and trying to bring people together in more and fun ways, and bringing the party planning aspect.
You're definitely an entrepreneur, aren't you? Because you studied marketing and business in school, right?
Yeah, I started at Indiana University and then graduated from Boston University with a degree in marketing. Yeah.
The first Broadway show, was that nice work if you can get it with Matthew Broderick?
That was my first Broadway investment. Yeah. God,
how did that come along? The opportunity to actually participate in the investment of a Broadway production.
Yeah.
Most people don't, maybe they do, but might not know how exactly that works.
Yeah. A friend of mine in New York who was a producer on that show, reached out to me and said, let's get together. We want to talk to you about how does it work to invest in Broadway. So that was my first investment. The only involvement I got to have as an investor was getting to go to opening night, going with my mom and going to the party after. And, on a majority of shows, investor-wise, that's really the perk of investing in a Broadway show, is getting to go to opening night and
see the performers
and meet them after, and so on and so forth.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. You loved every second of it, right?
Yes, I did. I would have loved it more if it ran a little longer.
I know.
You go into theater, investing, producing, whatever, for the fun of it, to support new work, to support the arts. I think the odds of a show recouping, they say, are 1 in 4, 1 in every 5. But, here I am, like 7 years and probably 12 shows and probably 150, 200 investors. And if you're honest, and I'm always about full disclosure.
Yeah.
And honest with investors and myself as well. Then you can have a lot of fun with it. And, whether the show's a success or not, hopefully, you're going to invest in a show that's a success and that it runs and that you make money and that you get to go to London to see it and Holland to see it, like I did with like On Your Feet and stuff like that. But we're all here to support other people and to try to have fun and live each day.
Live each day. That's right. Absolutely. Got another cool shot here.
Wow. Do I look the same 5 years later?
Yes.
We do a lot of
just a little growth around the mouth area. That's about it. But who doesn't have that these days, right? We all do.
I know.
Looks good. It looks good.
We do a lot of events where our staff is asked to dress up, theme events. So this was an event for Cirque du Soleil, the opening of Banana Spiel in New York. So all our staff were dressed up in wild costumes and serving food out of cages and stuff like that. Yeah. And that's a good picture because I think in the last year, we've all felt very caged up.
Caged in, right, exactly.
I think I've had that crazy eye look many times in the past year. Or the other look.
Yeah, that's either or Home Alone.
Either or. But caged in. Yes. I don't know what they were serving, but at one point they had food in their hands, and we do, a lot of promotional models. A lot of clients call us up for that as well. So we're not only serving food, but modeling. And in the last year or two, with social media becoming more and more important, if that's the word, or
Prevalent,
playing a bigger part in our lives, a lot of clients have started calling us to get influencers, to go online and promote their product. No one's asking me, no one's paying me a lot of money to hold up this carousel cup, but there are corporations, and it's expanded from our model serving to model influencers, because so many of them are actors and models and have that huge following on social media. That's it's like the business growing with the times. And and that's social media. That's the importance of social media nowadays, which is great. Oh, look how relaxed I look.
This is a photo of Mark in his bedroom last night.
And as you can see, I'm alone, safe, practicing safe COVID protocols.
A very colorful pillow color scheme there.
Yeah, I should have taken some of those pillows. The ones I have now are very boring.
And yes, he does sleep in a suit and tie. He's a professional.
You have to be ready at all times for that call for clients who needs you to come out and meet with them 24/7. Especially if we're doing work in all time zones.
So, right, exactly. 24/7. So tell us again the scenario here.
Oh, that was the cage at the
that was the cage.
That was the cage at the Cirque du Soleil, because we used to do all their opening night.
This is La Cage Art Fall.
It was great. You don't have the one of me driving
the Cage Fall, the Cage Fall.
Cab. I'm glad you don't have me driving the cab, which I might have to start doing in New York too now.
Yeah. Yeah, Ubers. There's
I know. There's another one of me and Gloria.
Look at those slacks, those pants, huh?
Yes,
you're known. I know for the the attire for the pants.
I hope you're not going to go into a montage of my crazy pants, but well, they don't fit me anymore. So I think I made them into shorts.
Well, like I've been saying on the show, Mark, we're supposed to stay 6 feet from each other, social distancing, but we have got to stay 10 feet away from our refrigerators.
Right now I'm about, I would say 7.5, but that's okay. There's nothing in the refrigerator. So.
Maureen says the photo that has you in the cage with the pillows says it's kind of like a ball pit for adults.
I kind of wish I would have taken that home, or at least some of the pillows. But that would have been the size of my apartment. So.
It's a ball pit for adults.
Right. I buy that. Okay.
Here's a cool one. I love this one.
Yes, the baby of them all. Mm-hmm. Fly More Than You Fall is going to be the first show that I've undertaken as a lead producer.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Which means I will be the cook, bottle washer, in charge of putting the team together. I saw this show in 2018, in the fall of 2019, sorry.
Yeah. At
Utah Valley University, because the gentleman in that picture, 4 from the left, in the red flannel shirt, blue shirt, whatever.
With the denim,
a wonderful guy by the name of Tom Miller. Tom used to cater waiter for me a million years ago, maybe 15 years ago when I first started. He now works at Syracuse University in the drama department there. And he had posted on social media that he was flying out to Utah to appear in a new musical called Fly More Than You Fall. And I saw his post. Then he posted a a few articles about Fly More from the local papers, and the articles said, "Is this the next Dear Evan Hansen?
Yeah.
Should Fly? Is this the next Broadway bound musical?" And those were interest. And I read the articles, and it got me really excited. I said, "Wow, that Fly More Than You Fall soars." So I decided I'm gonna fly out to Utah and check out this show. So I jumped on a plane when a lot of other producers in New York were flying out to San Diego to see another new musical that was being developed. I went against the curve, so to speak. And I got on a plane and went to Utah. And I met the lyricist that first night, Nats Agree. It's written by him and Eric Holmes, New York writers. And Eric, they've written a lot of stuff, but this is the first show that got head of production. And I sat there the first night, and Utah Valley University had just built a brand new auditorium, event space, theater space that was like spectacular. And I sat through this show, and my mouth was like a gasp. The music was great. The story was beautiful. And I watched people, and people were really engaged.
Yeah.
And I said, let me go back. I'm here to see the show, so I'm going to go back the second night. That was a little more crowded because the Mormon community go out more on Saturday nights and Friday nights. Mm-hmm. There's a lesson that I never knew that I did not pick up on by watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Like, they never talk about that. No. Every night's a party in Salt Lake on that show. And, the story is really, I'm going to read the synopsis of the story.
Yeah. Because
every time I talk about it, I get so excited that I kind of go in tangents.
And then we've got a little video clip that you sent along, too, with the show. We'll show that, cool. Too.
Okay, so this is a synopsis. Fly More Than You Fall introduces a young girl, Malia, who deals with the tragic news of her mother's diagnosis in the only way she knows how, through her writing. Malia crafts a tale of a young bird with broken wings who embarks on the journey of a lifetime, continually weaving in and out of Malia's real-life struggles to navigate grief, puberty, and growing up in the middle of nowhere. So there's a little bit of a synopsis. If you want to show the clip, we could talk more about it.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, we've got the clip right here. Let's see if we can bring that up. And let's see, we'll bring that up. We will restore this. And there she is.
All right.
So how did you get involved in this? What was the initial entree? Yeah.
The initial was the post from Tom.
Was that post? Yeah.
That post from him sharing some of the articles.
Mm-hmm.
The articles comparing it to Dear Evan Hansen and Come From Away, which are two of my favorite shows. So if you put those two shows in an article with Fly More Than You Fall, there's got to be something there that these writers saw.
Yeah.
And that is enough to get me to go to Utah to see if I see what they see. And let's hope you see what they see in this little.
So when you heard about it right away, was it an instant for you? Were you like, this is really cool. This is something I want to get involved in this.
Well, I went out to Utah with the open mind, thinking if this connects to me,
yeah.
If I connect to the writer and the lyricist,
right,
and the story, there's a lot of blocks that have to fit into place in order for me to undertake this as my baby, because no one knows when Broadway's returning. This is my first time lead producing role.
Right.
I'm going to keep adding blocks onto my back.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard enough to be an experienced lead producer. Then it's hard enough being, you know, take that away, making you a first timer. Then saying it's hard to get a theater, make it even harder because it's COVID. So like, let pile all those bricks on me and let's see if I could take this show and move and go up that hill and take that journey like Malia is taking in that story. Her journey up the mountain to see what awaits her on the top and not knowing what is up there for her. That's the exact journey that I'm taking now with my writers and all the creative and the future I have for the show, which I will share more with you after we
all right.
Check out. Here's Fly More Than You Fall from Eric Zagri and Matt Zagri and Eric Holmes.
Here you go, everybody. Enjoy.
Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Don't ever think it's not. Life is beautiful. Oh, life is wonderful. Life is beautiful. Don't ever lose this thought of each day you're given. You live each day you've got. Don't let fear and madness bring you sadness. That's a lesson I've been taught. Keep your head up. Keep on walking down. Open up your mind and you might find that you can fly more than you fall. Whoa, whoa, no. You can fly more than you fall. Whoa, you can fly more than you fall. Open up your mind and you might find that you can fly more than you fall.
Now get some sleep. You've got some ass to kick tomorrow.
Yeah, I do.
You can fly more than you fall.
Every time I get another step higher, I feel the fire fueling my mind. When it feels like nobody's moving, I'm not improving, just wasting time. I'm not sure how to play along. I just feel something is wrong. There's a lot of me doesn't get why we gotta be excessively aggressive just to come up as aggressive, but I know to grow you show that you're not letting go. Never be a pro, so your flow is obsessive. I want to this, I'll survive this. It's harder than I thought. I can do this, I'll survive this. What other choice have I got? All this time thinking nobody would ever see
that these feelings could happen for me.
What's clear, you are safe. You are
my tree never gave me the joy that you've given me. I want to stay with you and be free.
So please stay here. Please stay right here. I'll share your laughs. I'll dry your tears. So please stay.
Please stay.
Please stay.
There you have it.
Really nice. And claps, claps, claps from Kathleen Walker in New York City. Juanita in South Africa are watching. Wow, looks like a great show. Tesla Bella in Florida. Love it. Mary Bishop in Florida. Wonderful. Rena Katz in New York City. Very nice. Jeff Newman. Mark has found a winner. That's for sure. More from Tesla Bella. Wow, such incredible talent. Linda in Florida. Very beautiful. I mean, they're loving what they're seeing here. Good stuff. Yeah.
And so did I. And that open up your eyes and you'll find that you can fly more than you fall. I can't tell you how many times under COVID I thought about that line. And it's just so important. And it'll be important that to look to theater when theater opens, and the message that this show can have, that you just need to keep moving forward. COVID has placed a lot of challenges on all of us, work-related, family-related, health-related, everything. And Broadway should unite us, and Broadway is here to unite us. And this is a new story. I've been involved with revivals. I've been involved with jukebox musicals. But what appeals to me about this show is that it's a strong story about a mother-daughter. You know, she goes to writing camp. The kids mock her, and then she meets her best friend. They sing this song about living each day. Yes, live each day you're living, live each day you've got. And then the next morning, the parents show up at camp and pull her out because the mother has stage 4 cancer, and they want her to be home that summer and to take care of the mother. And it's about her being at home and wanting to continue writing her own story, but at the same point wanting and needing to be there for her father, who doesn't know how to deal with the daughter, and to be there for her mother. And it's a story, and I've often been asked, how did I feel when I left the theater, right? And I've said to many people, I laughed, I cried, and I felt uplifted. And I hope that the future of this musical, whether it's, our plan is hopefully to start doing regional theaters when regional theaters start to open up, hopefully the end of this year, to do a few of them, and to hopefully make it to Broadway in 2023. And as hard as that is, because of timelines are hard to predict, I say I don't want to go to Broadway until my parents are comfortable going into a theater, right? Like right. Mama Karen is very important. My friends love Mama Karen, and they expect to see her at an opening night. And if this show gets to Broadway, which I think it can, I hope it can, then Mama's got to be there front and center. Otherwise, I'll wait. I didn't win Powerball or Mega Millions, so I can't open my own theater, build my own theater, but I will wait. Yeah. And it's the plans for this show are a little bit outside of the box, because we need to bring in new voices into theater. And this show is a very touching story, as I said, about a mother-daughter. And in the second half, it's a very beautiful father-daughter story. So there's really something there for everyone. And the second night I saw the show in Utah, that was one of the things that really sold me, or got me over the 50-yard line, so to speak, was seeing people from 8 to 80 relate to this story. We've all suffered loss, but we all come out of it, and we all deal with loss in our own way. Come From Away dealt with a very serious topic, but 9/11 was the background story for Come From Away. The cancer is the background of that story, but it's not about cancer. It's about wanting to pursue your dreams, and how do you do that when faced with faced with diversity, not diversity, faced with adversity.
Adversity, yeah, right.
But diversity is important too. And, you know, the guys and I, Eric and Nat, we're moving forward with a crew, a cast and crew, or a crew, I should say, that will be 65% or more female and BIPOC. Not because a lot of, but because it's politically, a lot of producers in the past are saying that's the thing to do. No, that's bullshit. It's because that's the story.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new voices that need to be told.
Right.
That need to be on Broadway telling these stories. So, you know, I'm adding another block onto my back by only focusing on those voices that will positively tell and help grow this story. It's like, Jim, just give me as many blocks on my back, and I will try to push them off the back and face it. And it related in Utah, they had a clothesline in the lobby with paper birds, and the audience members were asked to write messages to people they lost of cancer. And there was a bulletin board where people brought images of pictures. Yeah. So it really, for me, that's what it was. It was the fact that it connected to such a broad audience, you know, that it's a beautiful story. And it reminded me a lot of Come From Away and Jeremy Hansen, two phenomenal stories, but also the intimacy of intimacy of Fun Home and Once on This Island, like those beautiful stories that don't need elaborate ways to tell it. That stories can be told in an intimate, in a tight, intimate.
Yeah, less is more sometimes, right? Exactly, less is more.
Absolutely, especially when it is so expensive now to bring a show to Broadway. It's a new musical could be 14, 16, 18, $30 million.
Exactly.
You know, and I want to buck the trend and try to do it for a budget that's comfortable to whether it's old, seasoned investors or new investors.
It's so obvious what you're doing goes way beyond just the investment and business side and return. You have a love of theater, you have a love of the arts, you have a love of people, and you really want to leave. And I say the same thing myself. I'm somebody who likes to inspire and uplift, and I like to, you know, through my professional work in television and radio and stage, I like to leave the room better than I found it, leave people uplifted and inspired. And I know that you do, and it's obvious that the work that you do within the theater community isn't, of course, it's part of the business side of things. We all have to have the business side or we don't survive, but it cuts way deeper for you, doesn't it, Mark?
Yeah, it does. It really does. And, you know, for me, it's always been about new voices, whether it's been the businesses that I've been in, but also now, and you know, since we're concentrating a little bit more on theater, I want to give those new voices to not only the creative people who are so deserving of a break on Broadway, and it's very hard for them to get their foot in the door, just as it was hard, and it took a while for me to get my foot in the door investing and then producing. I want to, you know, take that to the investor and the producer side as well, because, excuse me, when I started investing, it was give me your check and we'll see you on opening night. And when I was a producer, you know, there was more involvement with getting to go to the meetings and having a little more say and offer my opinions on marketing meetings and stuff like that. But in order to get more people involved with theater on the investor and the producer side, I've determined, and I am doing this with several people have reached out to me and said, we love the show. We've never produced before. We don't know what to do. And reminded me of when I raised money for Sideshow, and I said, I don't know what to do. And there's no class. There's no one who really teaches you the ways of going about approaching friends, basically, and asking them for money, because you need them to trust you. Broadway's it's a risky investment. So I've been helping newer and younger producers, teach them how to get involved with Fly More, and that hopefully they could take that knowledge and bring it towards other shows in the future. And same with my investors. I have said to investors, if you want to speak to the writer and the lyricist on the phone, open access. I want full disclosure. You want to read the script? we will send you the script, because the right Eric and Nat and I want to be we're creating a family with Fly More. And we want you to feel a part of that family. And the more we could educate and share about Fly More, whether it's that 3-minute video or whether it's a script, and the more Jim knows about the show, the more Jim will feel comfortable investing in the show or wanting to be a producer on that show. And that's how Broadway and theater in general, whether it's London or Canada, that's how theater will bring in new blood. Right. By having people share their passion about it. Mm-hmm. I had a 15-year-old reached out to me, and he was a big fan of Be More Chill. Mm-hmm. And I spoke to him for 2 hours, and it was great. I learned a little bit about Reddit, and I let him read the script. He gave me opinions. There it is. And there's my Be More Chill tie. I had ties made up as gifts for my investors and friends.
What was it like being a part of that? I mean, that was something, huh?
Yeah, I had first seen it I didn't get to see it at Two River Theater where it started, but the lead producer of that show, Jerry Gehring, who is who heads the drama department at Hartford University in Connecticut, I had met him.
Oh, yeah.
And he invited me to go to Hartford to see a performance of it. Yeah. So this is me going 2 hours on a train and in the snow. The
University of Hartford, right? Yeah.
And I saw it in this little black box theater, maybe 50 people.
Mm-hmm. And I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Oh, are you?
Cool place. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It really is. And the audience, the 50 people, were like enamored by this show. And I played the music to my mother and to my then 9-year-old nephew, and they both loved the music. So there's like a cross-generational love for the music.
That's smart to do that, because you're getting the response of different generations to see how they respond to it, and both loving it. That's a smart way to do it. Yeah.
Which is really important, because, in order for a show to succeed, it can't just be you liking it. Or you can't just say, yeah, my friends will like it. I need to know that if I'm getting behind a show and I send out my email for a group night, whether it's Sunset Boulevard or Tina or On Your Feet or The Sound Inside or anything, I only want to get involved with the show if I know that I can get 100 people off the bat in all demographics to get my email about the show and be like, I want to come. Mm-hmm. Because if it's not, you're not going to have your show's not going to have a long future. And it's not going to tour, and it's not going to go to London, not going to go to Holland. Another shout out to Holland. I hope he's still listening.
Willie, yeah.
Hey, Willie in Holland. That's where I saw On Your Feet in Holland. That great theater.
Was it Amsterdam?
No, it was. It was about like 40 minutes.
Rotterdam or Utrecht, or
it was about a half hour outside of Amsterdam. If he's listening, he can tell us what the name of the theater is, because it's
Mark's thinking and his approach is fantastic. Must help so many interesting conversation. Glad you're enjoying it. Mentorship is sorely lacking in the industry, but Mark is an example of bringing that aspect to the investor producer side of all your productions. Ooh, this is tough. Do you have a favorite?
Linda, you're going to get me in trouble if any of the other producers of any of the show.
Jeff says The Hague. Were you in The Hague? That's
Thank
where
you.
were.
Is that where it was, Jeff?
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Jeff knows. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Jeff is a great supporter of theater. He's on the board of a theater in Virginia, a big supporter of shows, and an all-around great guy. And thanks for listening, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Jeff.
I think I loved Sunset Boulevard. I thought it was an amazing. Glenn Close was absolutely amazing in that. I've had a great time with On Your Feet, having seen it all around the world and enjoy. Oh, there you go. Having seen that around the world and getting to, become friendly with Emilio and Gloria has been a highlight of that show. Winning the Tony for Hadestown and getting to run up on stage with my mother in the audience in my Hadestown pants, which I don't think you have that picture, but that.
We do have this nice shot.
Oh my God. Oh,
Tom, yeah.
Tom Kierdehay, a wonderful person who I love.
Long Island too. Hop Hog Long Island is where he's from.
That's right. It's like
Long Island again.
Long Island represented. I loved that experience.
When you're on the island, you always ask, "What exit are you from?"
I know.
I
owe Tom a call. I miss him. And then in London, the experience of going to the Olivier's when Company won the Olivier and me getting the opportunity to have an Olivier were also my great experiences. Go from all over and all the shows.
What was it like getting the Tony? There it is. There it is.
Woo, yay!
Nice and polished. It spins.
It spins. Okay. It's great. And I hope that the next one
does it have heads and tails, or
I don't know. I'm not. I'm afraid to
don't spin it too much. You can't get another unless you're.
I'll tell you. I hope the next one is for Fly More Than You Fall in a few years.
But what was that feeling? I mean, any of us that get anything, Emmys, Oscars, Peabodys, Tonys, Tellys, Grammys, whatever. It's the judgment of the peers of the industry who are paying heed, and that's always it's something really amazing when it is coming from the peers, the people who know the blood, sweat, and tears and everything it takes, and all the heartache and the sacrifice and all the, all of it, everything, all the financial investment, the physical and mental investment, all of it, the time, the talent. And then you get recognized by those in the industry for excellence and quality and all of it. It's really a tremendous thing, isn't it?
It was very exciting. And as I said, Tom Kierdehay and Mara Isaacs, the lead producers of Hadestown, have done and continue to do an amazing job with that show and keeping the investors and the co-producers updated with what's going on, because communication is very important. Investors and producers want to know what's going on with Broadway, as does everybody. And they've been phenomenal leaders on this show. And I will do a show with them anytime in the future if I'm fortunate enough to get asked. Same with Chris Harper and on Company. He's kept us very updated on the updates on that, and Niederlander with the Tina Turner musical. These are all been amazing people to learn under, and I hope and plan on taking a great night at Tina with some dear friends from supporters of Titus in Dallas. Titus is a wonderful organization in Dallas. Yeah. And my friend John and the supporters came up to see Tina. We did a whole fun theater weekend for them. I miss my Dallas friends. And I'm going to take a lot of those lessons And Linda is Linda. Yes, Glenn Close is a phenomenal actress. Love her. And I'm going to take lessons and something away from each from each show that I've been involved with, whether I've raised 150,000 or whether I've raised over $1 million. Yeah, there's mom and dad.
Yes, there's your mother and father, right? Robert and Karen.
Yeah, and my sister Brooke. If my mom doesn't like that picture, which she should, it's a great picture.
Oh, she looks terrific.
Expect to get an email from her.
She looks stunning.
Thank you. I didn't give her approval.
In that picture, my friend, you're in good company.
Very clever. Very clever.
So that's terrific. So mom, dad, and sis, and everybody happy and proud, and that is wonderful. That is great.
Mom's holding the Olivier. That's funny.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Mom looks like she could be your sister as well. Fantastic. Yeah. Is she watching tonight?
I hope so. My niece is getting an award tonight at her school, so
hello, Mom.
Karen, hi, Mom and Dad, and Brooke, if you're watching.
Mom and Dad, and your sister.
I hope my brother and my nephews are still watching, but they'll get tested. They'll get tested.
Oh yes, excellent. My family always watches too. Relatives in New York and New England, and the folks are in Florida. Sister and husband, they're all in Florida watching.
Hi to all the masters.
The masters.
We love your son. He's an amazing person, and thank you to your parents for doing such a good job with you on Long Island. You
know what I call my parents? They are mine and my sister's original executive producers. Oh. They really are, right? Your parents they are your producers. They produced you. They will always be your executive producers. Ann says, such a lovely family. Great family photo from Kathleen in New York. Jill Jason. Good to see you, Jill. Welcome. She's a
Hi, Jill.
Beautiful photo. XOXO. Lovely photos from Linda in Florida. She's in warm and sunny St. Augustine. Lucky her, Linda.
Lucky her is right.
Juanita in South Africa. Beautiful family. Juanita is one of our faithful in South Africa.
I love South Africa.
It's like 3 a.m. there right now or something. She's
it's one of my favorite countries. And I cannot wait to go back to South Africa. I haven't been there since I was a kid. Love you, Jill. This is like the Jill Jason fan club.
Yeah, Jill's great. She's very supportive of our show too. She loves tuning in, and spreading the word, and I really appreciate that greatly. Jill is really cool. I got another shot here with our president.
Yeah, and I was taking.
We do our research here. I do our research.
Am I really? I look at that picture, and I don't think our president's that tall, and I don't feel that short. So. I don't know.
I'm sure you treasure that, huh?
I'm looking. They are big supporters of the theater. I was taken at the after party. I don't know how many years ago. A few years ago, at the Plaza Hotel. 3 years ago, maybe. I don't remember. But they're big supporters of theater, and I look forward to. They're going to do a lot to help get theater back with Senator Schumer, who's been Save Our Stages, has been doing a lot to help us get Broadway back on its feet. And I look forward to welcoming the Bidens to fly more. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe.
I want to be there that night. Call me.
Me too. I hope they let me know. But yeah.
Right. We have verification that your mother's watching. Robert Lewis says, Mom is watching. Great show. Thank you. We're so proud of Mark. So your mom is watching. Verification.
Okay, I guess my new last name is Lewis. That must be how my father typed it into the computer. Thanks. Thank you, Robert Lewis. Okay.
Chris Burke says, such a great interview, Mark. You look terrific.
Thank you, Chris.
And Maureen says, and it's amazing the color scheme you and I ended up with, huh? I tell you, there was no pre-planning on this. Kindred spirits.
Absolutely not. I didn't even get to connect with you until before 7. I was freaking out.
It keeps it nice and fresh, right? That photo is a treasure, according to Maureen. I agree. That really is, huh? Jeez.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice one. We've got another one here too. This is the model bartenders again, which again is really cool. That's such a cool idea. Like I said, you've got your hands in so many cool things. You're really a serial entrepreneurial spirit.
Thank God you used that was the word that you used after cereal. Otherwise, we would.
I was doing self-editing live, which as a broadcaster,
and that's Chris Cardone, who's going to be doing our virtual cocktail class on Friday, February, I think it's 27th, and then we have another. He's doing another one for us that following Monday.
That's a cool shot too.
Information is on our Instagram account and our Facebook page, Model Bartenders. Again, if any of the Lovities sign up, we will drop 10% off the $45 registration fee. So it'll be like whatever, $40. And it's going to be a fun night. It's an hour. He's going to teach us all how to make 2 cocktails and 1 mocktail. So for those of you who don't drink, we'll be sending out a recipe card like a few days before, and he keeps it simple. You know, it's supposed to be something to bring people together, you know, and just for 25, 30 people to get together and have a good time. And he's great personality. You'll love him. You'll love him.
You'll love him with all the lovity. Absolutely. It's all about the lovity. Absolutely. Now you were getting an award here. I know this isn't your favorite photo, but you look good in it. Well, what was happening? You were getting, it was obviously
that was the night. That was the night of the Olivier's in London.
Oh, congratulations!
And that was the Olivier for company. So
congratulations!
I could just hold on to it because I wouldn't get mine for probably a year later. It took about a year.
It's another prestigious honor, of course. Yeah,
really
well earned. Well earned.
Nobody better break into my apartment. Keep out of my apartment unless invited. Here he is. I was going to change I was actually going to change my Facebook status and say that I was in a relationship with Tony and Olivier, but I didn't do that.
What stopped you from doing it?
I told so many people that I was going to do it that I just felt that joke got old. I don't know.
The element of surprise was gone, right?
That's exactly it. Now, there would be no element of surprise.
Now, the audience on this show, we have it's not even a segment, but it's sort of kind of like how the Lovity thing just happened. It turns out we end up oftentimes talking to the guest about where they are sitting, the room that they're in. Kind of like if you remember Edward R. Murrow when he did, I think it was Person to Person on CBS, and he was leaning back in the chair with the cigarette, and they had the big screen, and they were saying, okay, now we're going to go into the home of Lucio Ball and Desi Arnaz. Now we're in the home of MARC LEVINE in New York City. Tell us about the room, what we're seeing, and some of the things behind you. The viewers love it.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure there's nothing. I'm sitting in my living room. I live on 19th Street by 10th Avenue in the Highline District. And this is my living room. And all right, since you asked, that is my bookcase with one of my favorite pieces of art, Change, which is a good word for the year, the change that we're all going through and that we continue to go through. And I am hoping that I don't show anything that's going to make, and just some of my paper towels, see? Some of my art that I've collected, some of my favorite pieces of art on the wall. Boy, I'm really showing you a lot. And my living room and some more of the art. See, art doesn't have to be hanging on the wall. Art could be on the floor. Art could be hanging outside your bookcase. So it's just basically me. It's me. It's art. It's me having an open space since I like to entertain. Well, I liked to entertain before COVID.
And are those windows out to the city? Are the windows there?
Yeah, those windows are over 19th Street. I can't carry my computer over to show the Empire State Building, but from the living
You know
room,
what they also want to see? Your chair, the chair that you're sitting in. Believe it or not, I'll tell you why.
Okay. Did I show the chair? I don't know if I showed
I
it.
think you might have to slide it out a little bit. Yeah, it looks like a big chiclet. It's cool. Now, there's a running joke. Again, another thing that just happened to develop on our series here. There's been times when guests, because as you can tell, we don't do an interview. We have a really good, warm and welcoming, fun conversation. So there's been times where some of the guests, maybe it's an author and they had to run out to get the book they want to show, or the kid runs in the room and they have to bring the kid, the kid is on their lap and everybody loves it. And then they have to bring the kid back to the spouse, or the dog jumps on their lap, or their battery runs out on their phone or their laptop or whatever, and they have to go charge it up. So we see an empty chair. So I said, I'm going to do a whole episode where we have just shots of the guests' chairs. So now the lovely viewers like to see the chair that the guest is in. That looks like a very comfy chair, actually.
It's a very comfortable chair, and I've been sitting under COVID a lot because I binge watch on the computer. So it's got to be a chair that I could sit like this for like 6 hours.
To be able to. Mona says, beautiful place. Thanks for sharing. Love all the artwork.
Thank you.
Says, beautiful home. Love the decor. And yep, show the chair, and which he did. So Linda in Florida is happy that you showed the chair.
And all the art, thank you. All the artwork is on our Instagram at Art Consultant Jen.
Oh, it is. The art what we're seeing in the room there? Really?
Yeah, pretty much every piece we have, we feature and we talk a little bit, I think, about the artist and more. So it's at Art Consultant Jen. It's the Instagram, I think. All the different things going on, like you said.
Very nice. Chris Burke says, Jim Masters is a first-time Lovity. I will most certainly join future shows and chats. I really enjoy your hosting and your show. Thank you very much, Chris, as a first-time viewer and Lovity. Appreciate that. And
he's a very lovely guy. So if you get Chris,
we got a real Lovity, right? Very nice place you have, Mark from Linda O'Dell in Florida. Juanita in South Africa says, beautiful apartment as well. Really nicely appointed, very comfortable and really, really nice. I thought it was beautiful. A couple of other things we have here too. This.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Every nominee for Tony gets that little pin that's on the upper left. I don't know what the other pin is. I forget. It must have been a gift someone gave me for the show. And that's the certificate for Hadestown. And now that Sound Inside this year got nominated for Best Play, and the Tina Turner musical got nominated for Best Musical. So I will soon have 2 more of those wonderful certificates representing 2 amazing productions.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations. Absolutely. And there's another one here that I saw. Oh, this was cool too.
Oh, yes. I was an executive or co-producer on Fiddler on the cast album on that CD.
Yeah.
For Fiddler on the Roof in Yiddish.
Yes.
A few years ago, it was like such a beautiful show. It was phenomenal. And whilst I was not a co-producer of the physical show, I was asked to get involved with the cast recording. So I raised money and got producer credit on Fiddler. And unfortunately, I did not get a Grammy nomination for cast recording because then I would have been able to say I was a Grammy nominated producer. But it was beautiful. It's a beautiful show. It was a beautiful soundtrack. Watching the recording of that at the Manhattan Center in Midtown was a tremendous amount of fun because I never got to watch a cast recording being recorded. So that was fun.
That must have been cool, huh?
Yeah. I now I know a little Yiddish. I cannot sing the songs in Yiddish from Fiddler, but you know, I can learn. We can learn.
What do you know in Yiddish that you could share? Any sort of wording, sentences, anything?
Ungepatch. Like overblown, like too much.
Like too much.
Like if you go to a party and you just don't know where to look, you might say it's a little ungepatch. It's a little too much.
Overdone, yeah.
And b'shurit, which is a word I've been using a lot lately, which means meant to be. The people come into our lives and things come into our lives for a reason. It's b'shurit, meant to be. And I feel that, you know, you and the Lovelies came into my life tonight for a reason, you know, and
absolutely
seeing all the wonderful messages that you're getting. And this show came into my life for a reason. The writer and the lyricist came into my life for a reason. And the director that we think is going to become attached to Fly More, and we hope to announce this within the next few weeks, the night I sent her the script, I didn't know much about her. She's an up and comer, wonderful director out of a state that is represented by someone talking on the phone, someone listening today. She sent me an email, and she said, I never cried when I read I've never cried after reading a script. And this script made me cry. Mm-hmm. She said on a future further call, that she lived Malia's story. Malia is the central character of Fly More Than You Fall. This writer lost both of her parents to cancer. Mm. She lost a brother to cancer. And she relates to this story, and having her voice on the future next step of the story will be just amazing to take this journey with her. And I said to her, I said this the other day, I'm like, it's b'shurit. Like, there are thousands of directors out there that we could have contacted.
Yeah.
I reached out to maybe a half a dozen that were recommended, and this is the one that I couldn't have written the script better. Like, she is so passionate about wanting to tell her story. And again, this was written by two guys, right? So after the rights were accumulated, we were supposed to do this a developmental workshop in Chicago at a theater called the Paramount Theater in Aurora, Illinois. We're gonna bring us in, take a week, redo the script, rework it with the writer and the lyricist, bring in actors, bring in musicians, and then do a reading for their supporters and their donors. And that got canceled because of COVID. But what we did was I reached out to Amber Mack, who's the director over there, and I said, let's continue this journey. You saw the show in Utah. Let's work on the script. Let's work with these guys. And she took the script over 3 months, Zooms and calls back and forth. And she brought on a female voice that the story did not have. And she's a mother. So she has a daughter. And she has a mother who's a cancer survivor. So adding those elements to the story, really took the story to the next level up that hill. And we hope, and the plan is, and we know this is going to happen with this next director, to make it even better. And the story is just going to get better and better and better, so that one day soon we'll be in a theater in Chicago or in London or in Canada. We're open. I'm looking and thinking outside the box, because that's what these times require. That's what theater requires. That's what a lot of industries. Look, I had to rethink all my businesses in the last year, because the catering business, the event business, it's down 95%, maybe 100%. Yeah. So it's just trying to keep active and stay busy and trying to do things that you're passionate about, which we hopefully we all can do, should do.
Absolutely. Here's another cool shot.
Get on your feet, which is very funny because my sister texted me this morning and she said, before you go to work, get on the Peloton. One of your favorite performers or one of your favorite songs is in the class or something. And I'm like, all right, let me get on the Peloton.
Was that the first sound you made?
Yeah, and I'm like,
okay.
listening. I'm like, what song is gonna pop up? And it was the conga.
Oh,
Midway into the class.
Gloria Estefan would be the choice, right? Absolutely.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm not wearing the same pocket square or the same shirt. I have different glasses. That would have been embarrassing. Sean Hayes.
Yeah.
My mother loved meeting Sean Hayes. He's like the nicest, one of the nicest people I've ever met. He's just such a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
And that show, it started at the Kennedy Center with Jim Parsons.
Right.
And then on Broadway, it was, or a revival of it was with Sean Hayes. So I was involved with the Sean Hayes part. And he's
very cool.
Hilarious. Mark Rylance, Farinelli and McKing, brought over here by, it was in London and it came here. And that was a phenomenal show. He is absolutely amazing. That was a play, limited run, Belasco Theater. And Mark Rylance is such a talent.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really cool. I mean, you get a chance to be involved in so many cool projects.
Oh, I wasn't involved with that.
But
my friend Larry's involved with that.
So your friend Larry, was
involved with that.
Did you get a chance and you saw it at the Paper Mill Playhouse?
I saw it at Paper Mill. Congratulations to everyone that was involved with Benny and June. Love that movie. I bought at a charity event the opportunity to fly to go to the premiere of Judy with Renee Zellweger. And you got to see the movie. Then the next day there was like a private brunch for like 25 people, a Q&A with her. And I wore crazy pants to that as well. And I got to meet her and she admired and gave me a nice compliment about my pants. Great movie, great person.
No idea of starting a pant line, huh? Maybe?
I don't know.
Designer pants?
Because you can't wear them that often because people see them and they get tired. Then you make them into shorts and then COVID happens and you put on a few pounds and you can't fit into the shorts.
Levine's legs or something?
Levine's legs.
Did you get your LLs today? Yeah. LLC. Levine's legs LLC. There you go.
Yeah. Adrienne Warren, Tina Turner. I waited at the party until she showed up.
Yeah.
It was like the last. I was not going to leave the opening night of Tina until I got a picture with her.
Sure.
And she's so amazing. She's so amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's amazing. And the work she's doing under COVID with BLM and various organizations just goes to further what a class act.
Absolutely. Do you get a chance to stay in touch with the various people that are involved in the actual productions, even when the productions are over? Or does everybody sort of go into the next production and they move on? You know how like casts of television shows, some of them, or movies, some of them stay in touch, some of them, go off to the next thing.
I stay in touch with a lot of the cast members from a lot of the different shows. On Your Feet, I saw 200 times, and I became friendly with a lot of the cast members. And with On Your Feet, when the show when the show opened at the Kennedy Center, I had a big party in my room after that went on for 4 hours. We went through like 25 pizzas, and I almost got thrown out of the Watergate Hotel. So I like to say Nixon and I have something in common, that we might not be welcome at the Watergate Hotel. And when the show was in Dallas,
I'm not a crook.
Yeah, they wanted to kick me out of the hotel. I don't think I could stay there anymore. And when the show was in Dallas,
Pizzagate. That was Pizzagate.
and when the show went to Dallas, I had a party for the cast in Dallas. So with Be More Chill, both for the New York cast and the London cast, I made opening night gifts for them. You know, like little Be More Chill soaps and stuff like that. So that's how I like to be a producer. I like to get to know the cast and try to keep in touch with as many as I can. But with some of the shows, I've had more access and a bigger role.
Right, exactly. With the different, exactly. Juanita in South Africa asks, Mark, with such a vast variety of things on your plate, how do you manage your time between all of it? It's pretty amazing. Sometimes I stun myself. I don't know if it's because of being on camera so long in television. My eyes can instantly edit things to what I know it should be. Like there, it says such a vast verify of things. Now I know I see that it says verify, but I know that she meant variety. And somehow my eyes and the mouth work in coordination, where I did a live on-air edit and I changed verify into variety automatically, knowing that's what she meant.
That's why you're the host and I'm the guest. It could be like a puzzle. It would take me a long time to mix those words.
It's like instant live editing. But how do you manage your time between all of these things that you're involved in? It's a good question. Thanks, Juanita.
Thank you, Anita. I'm like a Gemini. I'm born 6/6/66. So I'm like I like being busy and all over the place. And a lot of my time now, because the model bartender business and the event business is at a standstill for now. And I hope in the next few months, as more and more of us get vaccinated and restrictions loosen up a little bit and people can entertain again, that'll start to pick up. But a lot of my day now is focused on Fly More Than You Fall.
Yeah.
And concentrating on that. I have a manager that's been with me for 10 years who helps me with the social media posts and the 7 Instagram accounts and so on and so forth. So that I know.
There's so many. And Twitch and Tweet and Twic and TikTok.
But I like to say that's
how I
snorted. Concentrate on the theater part. And the theater part right now is making sure that we put together the best team for Fly More Than You Fall, and that I help producers, new producers, or help them figure out how to become a producer, and investors. Talking to investors all the time who want to hear about the show. And like I said, I will talk about Fly More for an hour. Like, I want to share information about theater, and I talk to young kids a few times a day who want to learn about theater, and trying to get involved with more mentoring projects and introducing more people. So I like to keep busy, and unfortunately, a lot of the days under COVID, I wasn't busy. I watched 8 hours of Orthodox or Secession.
Right.
Things are happening now, and the show is happening, and New York is happening, and people are getting back to parties. So yeah, that's how I try to make things happen, and that's how I keep busy. Right?
How you keep it all going, right? Exactly. What are some of the? Here's another one here too. Yeah, like Premier Lifestyle Management.
That's the concierge service, and we have, that's us putting together fun events for people. The cocktail class with Chris that's coming up, in a few Fridays from this 2 weeks from this Friday. Broadway shout outs. A friend of mine's wife is a big Hamilton fan. We wanted to surprise her with a shout out. So we had, on the day of her birthday, one of the actors, she had a Zoom with one of the actors, and they talked about decorating and stuff like that. And then the night of her birthday, we had the current Hamilton call her up and give, wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
It's kind of like anything you could think of, we can make happen, And then the art, I've showed you some of my art, and a lot of the art that I have. I bought that in South Africa.
Did you really?
Yes. Oh, that's so
See?
great that you're showing that.
Am I intuitive or what?
That is amazing. I bought there's a series of 3 of these, and it was a flea market in South Africa. And it was like one of the first, I bought it in, I think this is 95.
Yeah.
So 26 years ago was when I was in South Africa.
Mm.
And it's a great series of art. And that's so funny. So as we were talking about South Africa.
Yeah.
A majority of the art that I've purchased has, over the last 20 years, have been to, oh, you have the other pieces, have been to various charity events. So I could look around the apartment now or in my office and say that was purchased through this charity and that charity. And now we're, trying to promote new artists and the art we have. And
yeah,
that's what I started the Instagram account for, was just for to share my passion for art. And thank you.
Max.
Oh, hey, Max.
Hey, Max. Good to see you, Max. Welcome.
Max is a big supporter of theater and the Broadway community, and really great to see him listening.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're connected on Facebook. Yeah. Hey, Mark, and that's a great interview. Thanks for tuning in, Max. That's awesome. Love it. You're a dream maker from Tess. Fly more than you fall.
Yay, Tess. Tell all your friends about it.
Fly more than you fall. I like that. That's really, really cool. So what are some of the things that continue to bring you great blessing and joy in your life, Mark, to want to continue doing what you do and being connected and all the amazing things that you have been involved in? Obviously, you were inspired early on by your family on the island, and took the ball and really ran with it. And I think it's really good that you studied the marketing and business side, because you understand the nuts and bolts of how all of it works. You have developed a real appreciation for the artistic and creative side, but you also have the business acumen and understand the marketing and promotional and buzz creating part of it as well, that are essential in order for the creative and artistic side to be seen and appreciated, and for people to get a chance to check it all out, right? It's a great balance that you've been able to master.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Work that name in.
Very good. I
quick
think
Irish wit.
You have a very quick Irish wit. I think under COVID, it's just been watching everyone evolve and seeing what they've been doing to keep themselves sane during these times. In the beginning of COVID, I was making cookie and milk videos. I don't cook. I don't know anything. But for every other day, for 2 weeks, I would get a cookie, put it, do a little story about a show. And
we have 40s here, Mark. What kind of cookies?
Well, one day I did the Oreos. I featured Lorna Dunes. I think I did Vienna Fingers one night.
Oh, God. I haven't had those in years. I love them.
Oh, I did. I tried Malamars. But it's all these people that have started these great ways to bring people together, right. Such as yourself, that has really made this time a lot more easy to get through.
Bearable.
And being able to watch programs and to connect with people that I might have been friends with Facebook for ages, but never got to talk to, and that's it. And, New York is getting back to normal. America's getting back to normal. Change is happening. Positive change is on the horizon. And I hope to be part of that on the theater side with Flymore. I hope to be part of it on the business side with the art consultant gent or model bartenders when the business picks up.
You've definitely got an in.
Joe, if you're watching and you want to be a producer on our show, please call me up.
If you need something catered.
Or anything. I'll come to DC in a minute. And that's it.
Joe is a lovity. He's a lovity.
And I want to like introduce. I have the time to speak to anybody, younger or middle, about theater or about business, and making myself accessible.
Well, one of our viewers, and I believe I was introduced to him by John L. Peacock, who was a guest on our show, who's very involved in theater as well. And he was a wonderful guest. And Matteo Esposito, I think we were talking about having Matteo join us as a guest as well. He's got an interesting story. He says, "Hi there, I'm a playwright. My one-act play about autism will hopefully get staged in New York City off Broadway soon." What a beautiful, and relevant topic that is, huh?
Yes, and we actually, about 4 or 5 months ago, brought on an intern who has Asperger's. So, and he's a playwright as well. So I could introduce the two of them. He's a playwright. He's been working with us for 5 months. A wonderful guy. We work with an organization out of New York called CUSAC. And they reached out online and said, "Is there anyone out there that we can partner with? We have clients of ours that are looking for internships."
Yeah.
And I reached out to them and I talked to them about theater, and they said, "We have this wonderful guy that is our client, and he is a writer, and he's been working with us, for the last 4 months. He comes in and we talk theater." And so I could connect those. And we just started with another client of theirs who helps us on our graphic designer. She works remote. So again, it goes to connecting people.
That's what it's all about, right? Yeah.
Build a family, whether it's a Flymore family, it's a model bartender family. And that's always been what I've been focusing on in anything. So.
Any lessons you've learned along the way, maybe things about the industry that you weren't aware of that surprised you or enlightened you along the way, Mark? You could probably write a book on it. It's in the book, right? It'll be in the book.
No.
That was a very sinister laugh.
No, I've been in business for 30 some odd years. On business wise, you just have to be careful with, and this goes into personal wise, theater wise, who you partner with, who you hire. Right. I'm a very trusting person, and that hasn't always worked in my advantage with people that have worked for me business wise. And it hasn't always worked for me with the people I've got into shows with. But the investors that I work with are great because I know them. I get to meet them, and investing in a show, you're sharing a great experience. Whether the show's successful or not, it's not about that. It's creating relationships. So whether it's business or theater, anything, theater's a business. Make it fun. Have fun with whatever you're doing, because there's too many things out there that are not fun and that'll bring you down. So if you're doing in work-wise or theater-wise, if you're waking up at 9 and going to bed at 8, and that majority of your life you spend at the office, try to make it fun. Try to do something that you're passionate about, because. Right. Unfortunately, in America, we live to work. Yeah. When the European attitude is they work to live. Right. And if more Americans had that feeling of that, maybe we'd be happier. Look, I haven't had business in a long time, but I try to keep a positive attitude. Exactly. I still have some hair that I haven't pulled out. Not as great a head of hair as you do.
Well, who has always had a positive attitude and who has made it through a lot and who's actually been enjoying thoroughly our conversation tonight? George Burns.
Hi, George. And he's color coordinated.
He's got a cigar and his hot pocket square of red, if that's a pocket square, does not clash with ours. No. Very dapper.
He looks good.
He endorses everything you said this evening.
Oh my God, I kind of look like him.
Yeah, just about to say there is a resemblance.
Oh no, the glasses.
And may you live till at least 100, as he did, right?
Oh, God, I hope Flymer gets to Broadway before I'm 100.
Right. Anything you haven't done yet that you would love to do? You know, that's sort of in that life's journey bucket list for Mark.
I haven't gone rock climbing, but that's on my bucket list. You know, with Fly More, I'm working on something that's on my bucket list. I want to, you know, being the lead producer and on this show and making the steps to create a team with like new voices on a beautiful new story that's never been told before, and putting together the team. And that's, you know, that's a bucket list, because I never thought, I never thought that it was going to happen. You know, you could go to a million readings and see a million shows and never really find one that you relate to or that you think has such potential that you're going to live and breathe Fly More, you know, 24/7. But I still need to concentrate on the business, on the model bartenders, which is what supports, you know, what puts food in the refrigerator.
Right.
You know? So it's fun. It's fun having that, trying to create a balance.
What would you say to somebody that's watching live right now, or maybe they watch this later on demand on our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV? And this episode and all the episodes are available 24/7 on demand. What would you say to somebody who's considering, you know, who is maybe the kid on Long Island or in Iowa or wherever they are, and wants to follow a similar path, wants to get into the arts and get into production and producing, all of that? What would you say to them right now? As far as I know, some of the guests, especially because we have guests from all walks of life, but those that have been in the performance side of things have said, well, if you're 50% considering going into, you know, entertainment and the arts, and the other 50% is considering being an accountant, be an accountant.
Which is very funny because my dad's an accountant.
You really have to, and this is something we've all said, you have to really want it. You have to really love it, because not every day is perfect. Not every day is rosy. Not every day is going to go your way. So if you want to get into these industries that require a lot, demand a lot, and expect a lot, you've got to really be all in, right?
Yeah, as the song goes, live each day you're living, live each day you've got, open up your eyes and you will find that you could fly more than you fall. Don't be afraid to try things that other people don't let other people put roadblocks in your pathway. Try it, because the more things you try, just like it says in the show. And if there are listeners that want to reach out to me and want to get me on the phone to talk for a little bit, I will do my best to have a call with people. And no questions too silly. Nothing's. Look, if you've enjoyed listening tonight and you want to know more, I'm available. I really am, because I love talking about this, and it's nice to have someone. When I was first starting, I reached out to Jordan Roth from Jamson Theaters, who is a sweetheart, and I went into his office and he gave me time and he talked to me about theater. I did the same with Nick Scandalias from Niederlander, and he gave me the opportunity to like get my foot in the door with On Your Feet, and On Your Feet led to On Your Feet tour, and that led to On Your Feet London. And that led to Tina Turner. So there are people out there that gave me that push and that advice. And I want to now do that, give back and do that for others.
Right.
You know, I don't hold anything back. So that you're gonna, you know, you call me up and you're gonna get
the full Monty.
Well, not the full Monty. You'll get an honest conversation.
Is
This is a PG show.
Is your mother still watching?
Probably. She stays up late. Let's see. I don't know.
Karen?
Robert Lewis. I'm waiting for Robert
Mrs.
Lewis.
Levine?
Robert Lewis, are you still there?
Are Mrs. Levine and Mrs. Masters still watching? I bet they are.
They got their second shot yesterday, so they might be a little tired. So I'm very excited. And people out there, if you get your opportunity, the more people that take it, the quicker we will all get back to work and shows. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's it. I wonder if our moms shopped at the same supermarkets. Did they shop at Pathmark or Wallbombs?
That's funny. I lived in Bayside for a little while, and I met my best friend, in the area of Bayside. But everyone out there, just follow your dreams, and
Yes, right.
Go for it.
Exactly right. Exactly.
But then you might also want to become an accountant. I almost became an accountant.
Really?
You might need something to fall back on. Yeah. I went to Indiana and was studying accounting. My dad just retired from 50, 60, 70 years of being an accountant. So.
Did your father always do your books for you too?
And still does.
Does.
His office still does. So.
The office still does.
I started working for my dad when I was 5 years old.
Did you really?
Taking people's names.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I like that. I worked with my parents too. It's a beautiful thing when you get a chance to work with the parents and when you see them at work and how serious they are. Because sometimes at home you see them so jovial and just whatever. And then you see how professional and serious they are at work. It's really a cool thing because that sort of, you pick that up from them.
Mom, the interview's still going on. Karen Levine is calling me now during the show.
Is she calling during the show?
Yeah.
Hello.
Maybe I could catch you. Oh.
Yes, you're live.
Yeah, I'm still on. I'll call you back. Obviously, you're not watching if you're calling me right now.
No, we just went off to watch Jeopardy before they.
Jeopardy.
Anyhow, it just went off.
All right, I got it.
Talk to you later.
What about the big finish?
Goodbye.
Every show is a big finish.
I could have left her on, but she would have screamed. She would have killed me if I would have showed her on FaceTime.
So she switched to Jeopardy. She probably DVR'd Jeopardy. And
that's what I think they did.
DVR'd
they started at 7 with us and watched.
And who's hosting that now? Of course, we paid homage here to Alex, but is Ken doing it? Ken's doing it now, right?
Yeah,
right.
My father watches it religiously every night. He could have been on. We've been telling him for years to try out. But
Lily says this is so funny. She's enjoying our humor during our conversation as well. Levity and levity is what it's all about,
I was on the Wheel of Fortune, so I'm not smart enough for Jeopardy, but my father could have been on Jeopardy.
You were actually on the Wheel of Fortune? Really? What was that like?
Bankrupt twice, lose a turn. I try not to talk about it.
That can bring a tear to the eye. But the gig that Pat Sajak has is like an ultimate host gig. For almost 40 years doing that show. It's just,
because I was on it 36 years ago. Oh my God. Yeah, I was on like 36
They wheeled you in a crib? What? Bassinet?
36
That was the infant's version, right?
I was like 17. College. And it wasn't college week. I didn't know.
When we were after graduating from college in New York, my college roommate, who is a sports writer in Boston now and has been for a long time, his sister was in California, so we went to California to visit the sister and some relatives on my side of the family, but also just to spend the whole summer as two recent college graduates out in San Diego and LA and Beverly Hills and through everything. And I've always enjoyed game shows too, but he was still is a super game show person. He wanted to get on The Price is Right, but to get on The Price is Right then, it would be months and months and months to get on there. I wouldn't mind hosting that. But so we actually had a chance to get on. We didn't get on only because it would have required us to stay in California a couple of more months. And both of us had new jobs in our careers, being recent graduates from school, starting in September. But they selected us for The Joker's Wild. Remember The Joker's Wild with Jack Barry?
Did you appear on it?
No, we went through all of the rigorous, contestant stuff in advance and the questions, and they want people, all the game shows want people who are the craziest. I mean, they do backflips if you get a toaster. Oh my God, a toaster. Wow. But they wanted us, they picked both of us, but the timing when they wanted us overlapped from when we were both starting new jobs back east. So we couldn't stay to get on it, but they did pick us both to be on it. So we almost were on the Joker's Wild. I actually competed in this thing. I forgot about this. I competed in this major contest, the Game Show Network, when they were new, GSN. They toured the country in some sort of a promotion where they wanted to make sure they got on cable systems. So they had this thing where they were searching for like a national host for a game show. So they came east and they came to this area here. And a couple of my colleagues said, hey, did you know that the Game Show Network and Sony Entertainment, they're together, and the Synergy Group out of, I think, Chicago, were all in unison. And they were looking for a new game show host. So I said, okay, I'll go down, I'll give it a shot. So they had various rounds of game show practice that you had to do in front of, I think, Mark Summers from Nickelodeon and a bunch of other people from the game show world. We had to go on stage. First, we had to go on stage with nothing. There was no props. There were no contestants. There was nothing. It was just get out there and just talk. They just wanted to filter through the people who can say a couple of sentences coherently and those who are stumbling on their name. So we made it through that round, and then they had us go off to the side and they brought more people in. There was about 4,000 people that showed up to this particular event. People were driving in from all kinds of different states and everything. So I just went on a whim and got narrowed down, and then they had us do another thing where we had people on stage and we had to converse with them, and they wanted to see how you bounced off, in a communicative way with other people. So we did that. And then they narrowed us down even further. And I was narrowed down from the 5,000 to 9, which was really cool.
That's awesome.
And then they had us come back the next day, and they built a set with buzzers, contestants, an audience, the whole bit. And of course, the judges, Mark Summers and some of the others that were the judges. And they had us hosting a game show on the fly and just told us really briefly what the premise of the game show was. And then we had to ad lib and go from there. And I just know that during that time, when the contestants were trying to buzz in on questions, some of their buzzers didn't work. And I figured they did that on purpose to see how the host would react to a scenario where the equipment failed. And do you panic and do you freeze? Do you stop and say to the audience, oh, we can't continue? Or do you roll with it and make fun and, sort of make it look like it was supposed to happen? Because I've been in a lot of scenarios on stage and television and radio where everything has gone wrong, but I'm out there and I have to make it look like everything was supposed to happen this way and it's smooth and everything is fine. So that's what happened. And they did that with the buzzers not working. And I was like, okay, I think they're doing that on purpose. And it's, just made fun and levity and comforted because the contestants were nervous and everything. So it worked out really well. And I was narrowed then down to 3 out of the 4,000 to 9 to 3. And it was a female host, and it was another male host and myself, and we competed. I ended up they were looking for, actually, they said at the end, a female host at the time because they didn't have one really at that time doing game shows. And it was time to have a female host host a game show. So I came in second out of the 4,000 people, which was really fantastic. I got a Sony television and an award from Game Show Network and all that. And I just wanted to see what they thought. And I thought it was really cool. It turns out that the host who got picked left her job, uprooted the family, I think, from Boston, went out to LA, did the pilot for the show. The show didn't get picked up, and that was it. And then they had to move back east and restart everything. So in a way, I was kind of glad that, I got that Sony TV and the other, because that would have been tough to
That's
uproot
good.
everything that I was already involved
Yeah,
in. But
yeah,
what a great experience, you know? That was really, really cool
yeah. Those are
to do
fun.
that. Yeah, that was really, really cool. And Renee Katz, of course, what kind of toaster? You mean a 4-slice? Or I like the wide so you can get a bagel in there and toast it. That's funny. That is funny. Renee says, what does Vanna White do with all those gowns? She can have a warehouse. Any got any inner secret on that?
I have no idea. I'm impressed that she still could fit into them. She hasn't aged a bit.
No, yeah, she was absolutely. Is there anything you've not done yet that I mean, have you ever had the performance bug in you? Have you ever wanted to be on stage and be one of the performers?
I have been. Through Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, a wonderful organization based here in New York. They have an event every year called like their Broadway flea market, where all the shows set up booths and sell paraphernalia from the shows to raise money. And at the end of each auction, at the end of each day, they have a live auction where they auction off experiences. So for about 6 years running, when I was in my 20s, I bought a walk-on in Phantom of the Opera. So I was on stage one night with my friend Andrew, Phantom of the Opera. My parents were in the audience, his parents were in the audience, on and off, maybe a minute. But we got to be in Phantom of the Opera. They put us in costumes. It was great. Following year, I bought an appearance in, I don't remember, but through Broadway Cares, I've been in Murphy Brown, Party of Five, Lois and Clark, and a very famous episode of Seinfeld, which still airs to this day. I could be seen in the back of the Muffin Top episode of Seinfeld, which airs a lot. And like my nephews and nieces have all seen me and have texted me randomly saying, your episode is on of Seinfeld.
What should we look for? What scene were you in?
It's the opening scene right after George gets a new pair of is asked to watch some stranger's luggage, and takes the luggage into the diner and he puts on the pair of pants. I'm sitting behind George in the diner, and he reaches over to show Jerry his pants, and I give him a menu. And that airs a lot. And I was on Broadway a second time in Guys and Dolls. And I don't remember the year, but I think it was with I think Jamie Farr had taken over for me.
Yeah.
And for Guys and Dolls, they put me in like 7 scenes, 2 costume changes. I had they let me sell tickets to friends. I had 100 friends in the audience. They put an insert in the playbill. And at the end, they came out and gave me my own curtain call.
Wow.
And then I got a standing ovation in the theater at Guys and Dolls. And several months later, I was walking home and someone stopped me on the street and he said, you were in Guys and Dolls, right? I said, yeah. He says, I was one of the actors in the show, and I can't believe you come on for one night and you get a standing ovation. So through Broadway Cares, I've had a lot of fun. Murphy Brown, I don't know if I mentioned that.
Murphy Brown, yeah, cool. Yeah. Candace Bergen, absolutely.
So I've had great experiences through the support of Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS.
That's wonderful.
And again, I can't wait to have my own show where they do a thing twice a year. They do something called Red Buckets, where casts of the shows stand in the lobbies and collect money for Broadway Cares. I can't wait, and maybe it's a bucket list, to stand in the lobby,
literally a bucket list,
more with a bucket, raising money for Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS.
That is beautiful. And of course, the Actors Fund, people have been raising money for the Actors Fund, and because it's been very, very tough for all right now.
Absolutely.
Lily asks, Lily's a wonderful singer and actress. She was a guest on our show. She goes, I will have to look for the episode, the Seinfeld. Do you remember the season? I was in Law and Order and Law and Order, yeah. And I don't remember the season. I was on an episode of that.
I Googled it. I think it might be episode 7. It's the muffin top episode of Seinfeld.
Muffin top episode. She goes, awesome. And what a fun career that you've had and continue to have as well. That's it.
Still having, unless I fall off the
Still
chair.
having. Yeah.
If I fall off the chair, please call my mother. Here's her number.
It's always scary. Yeah. Either 631 or 516, right? It always gets scary when they say had. Do you know something we don't know?
Please take that back.
I've had thus far. Well, my friend, this was terrific. We won't keep you any further. You know, we have chatted for 2 hours and 21 minutes.
And 58 seconds.
Yeah. 59. Now 2. And everybody says it never feels like that, right? Because it isn't an interview, question, answer.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Time flies.
Well, I certainly hope the show has met whatever expectations you had and you enjoyed your time with me, as I certainly have with you, Mark.
I hope to do this again soon.
That would be my pleasure. Anne says, what an interesting life you have had, or you have. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us. Mary Bishop says, great night with wonderful conversation. Thanks, Mark and Jim. Thank you very much, Mary in Florida. We appreciate that. And beautiful comments there. Glad you enjoyed it. Mark, this was terrific. And I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. And
I did.
Let's stay connected. And I hope that we get a chance perhaps to, meet further and break bread and pour wine. And that would be fantastic once we're able to do all of that. Kathleen says, thanks, Mark and Jim. She's in New York City. You're very welcome. Lily says, I missed the beginning. I will rewatch this on YouTube. Absolutely.
Lily, I was hilarious at the beginning. You got to go watch
it was fantastic. It was unbelievable. Everybody was in stitches. And you got a chance to see not only his, wonderful home there, but also the chair that he's sitting in. On demand.
The chair business.
You gotta see. Next, you'll see him on the corner selling Levine chairs. And don't forget, he's got a new clothing line out, Levine's Legs.
That'll be the next conversation.
So great. Love you, Mark, from Jeff Newman.
Love you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff, for tuning in. Hope you'll watch again and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We would love that. Right, Mark? Everybody should subscribe to the Jim Masters TV YouTube channel,
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. Maureen says, nonstop fun tonight. Thanks, Mark and Jim. It is our pleasure. Renee Katz, and we call her the Queen of Queens. We had a guest on from Australia, or a viewer who watches from Australia, and she always says that she's in the Midlands of Western Australia, east of Perth. So Renee, who's a wonderful cabaret singer, actually, she was a guest on the show too, and a great lovely viewer. She says that she's in the Midlands of Flushing, Queens.
I love that.
The Midlands. Tesla Bella's here. I'll get to that in a second. These things jump so fast. Juanita says it was an amazing conversation. Thank you, Mark, for spending time and sharing your fabulous life with us. Keep well. Juanita in South Africa, where it's like way into tomorrow already. She's a real lovely. Great conversation. Thank you, Mr. Lovety and Mark. Our pleasure. Tesla Bella says again, fly more than you can fall.
All right, Tess, you're coming over.
You got it, Tess. Thank you for tonight. Was a great show. Thank you, Mona. And Christine Clifton in North Carolina says this has been a fabulous conversation. And thanks for sharing your career with us. Really enjoyed hearing more details of your work, shows you've produced, and so much more you do to give back to the arts.
Thank
and Jose Perez says, amazing.
Oh, good. Jose tuned in. Thank you, Jose.
Thanks for tuning in, Jose. And we appreciate you being here on the Jim Masters Show Live too. Great stuff, my friend. Well, we toast you. Once again, let's stay in touch. You're welcome back anytime. Keep me posted on cool things that are happening, and hope to be at the shows there with you. And keep me posted. Would love to join you in.
I love that. Cheers, Jim.
And Renee says yes from the Midlands of Flushing, Queens. Thank you, Mark.
To the Midlands we go.
To the Midlands and beyond.
Yes,
Mark. Thanks again. Really fun. Stay safe, healthy, everyone. Chris Burke.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate that.
Thanks, Jim.
You have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Are you going to go grab a snack now?
Yeah, I'm going to have to try to figure out how my mouse. My mouse is frozen, so I'm not sure.
I was going to say.
I might be on tomorrow night too, because I can't. You're going to have to leave me, Jim, because I am not going to be able to leave you.
You're
I don't know. My mouse is not working.
Oh, so you're not a you love them and leave them type. You're leaving us to leave you. You're giving us the opportunity to leave you gently and gracefully.
I don't know how else.
You're very generous.
I'm sorry, I don't know how else to do that.
Oh no, we'll do it. We can do it. He's stuck in Lovity Land. He can't exit Lovity Land. We have him. Kathy Short says, terrific chat tonight. Thanks so much. She's in Cleveland. Jill Jason says, a wonderful way to spend the evening. Lots of love, XOXO. Juanita says, cookies and milk. That's what you should have next.
Maybe we'll do a video with the cookies and milk.
The cookies and milk. You be well, and we'll take care of the technical on our end. Go stretch those legs, like I say to all the guests. Love to the family. And we will see you again soon, my friend. Okay.
Thanks, thank you. Have a good night.
It was a blast. Thanks, Mark. You be well. You stay safe.
You too.
Cheers. Bye-bye now. Very special guest, Mark Levine. We loved having him here on the show. It was a real pleasure. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You got a chance to learn about his career, about his successes, and about some of the cool things that he's working on. And if you missed the beginning of the show or any part of our show, all you have to do is just check out the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, all of the episodes. And again, we've got about, I think, 280 episodes now of our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, the Jim Masters Show Live, that are there for you to enjoy. A lot of people binge watch our shows because we have great conversations. We have host chat. We've taken this show also on location too, to some really cool spots. We went to the Netherlands. We took you to the Brady Bunch house in California. We went to Malibu in LA. We took you to where the house that they used in the ABC series Family with Christy McNichol and Zeta Thompson and James Broderick and Meredith Baxter Burney and Gary Frank and Quinn Cummings, the house that they used in Pasadena. We took you all over the place. Red Rocks in Colorado. And in New York and New England, we have got great host chats we do too. We've got another one coming up soon. And we did a whole 2-hour show just on food. We did a host chat foodie festival show, which was amazing. We do holiday shows. We've got great guests from all walks of life, fields of endeavor, and amazing people. I want to tell you who's on tomorrow on the show. Actor Sean Kanan is joining us tomorrow. You know Sean Kanan, of course, from General Hospital and, of course, The Young and the Restless and so much more. He's going to be with us on Thursday night live exclusively on our YouTube channel. So check that out. Sean is going to be live from Los Angeles. He's working on some really cool new projects. And then Friday from the Waltons. Yes. We are so excited to have Cammie Cutler. There she is on the right when she was on the Waltons. There she is today. She's our guest on Friday, this Friday on the Jim Masters Show Live. And then live from Ireland on Saturday at a very special time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. in Ireland, Scotland, and England. Brian Dunphy is going to be here, a brilliant Irish singer and songwriter. He's a dear friend. I've interviewed him on public television. He's with the High Kings. He's going to be here live. He's also going to perform live as well. And I want to let you know that we have an outstanding jazz saxophonist, composer, and so much more, smooth jazz. This is Will Donato. He is going to be joining us on Tuesday. He's amazing. He's all excited. Again, he's going to perform live for us as well. In addition to being a fantastic smooth jazz composer and saxophonist, he's got a wonderful story because he's also a cancer survivor as well. It's going to be a beautiful night this coming Tuesday, February 16th on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. The brilliant, award-winning, renowned smooth jazz composer and saxophonist Will Donato is going to be here this Tuesday, and so many more guests. It's absolutely incredible. We have a good time here on the show. We always learn something. We're always educated. As Lily says, fantastic guests as well. And Mary says, good night, Jim and lovely friends. Thanks again for another wonderful show. It is my pleasure. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Kathy. Chris, thank you for joining us as well. And check out our YouTube channel. That's where you can see the upcoming guests that we have. Also, you can find me on Facebook at Jim Masters TV, Instagram and Twitter at Jim Masters TV, and also Twitch and Periscope at Jim Masters TV. And of course, our series is archived, the Jim Masters Show Live, at the YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. We thank very much our wonderful guest, MARC LEVINE. He is tremendous, and we had a good time with him tonight. You got a chance to learn more about him and some of these amazing shows, of course, that he's been involved in and with his team responsible for, and they just go on and on and on. And it's a wonderful, incredible career that he continues to have, and the accolades are there. And Tom, we should get Tom on the show too. I'd love to have Tom. There he is with Tom. And of course, Fiddler and On Your Feet and the Tonys and Tony and Tina and Company. And of course, all the others, of course, Be More Chill, which was fantastic. I did get a chance. I saw Company and I saw Tina, Be More Chill as well. Actually, I know a couple of people that were involved in that as well. There he is, of course, with Gloria Stefan. Yes. And of course, we talked, if you didn't see this earlier, there he is as a teenager with Christy Brinkley. And there he is with President Joe Biden. And good company. And of course, we talked about the model bartenders and of course, the wonderful art collections. And of course, the ultimate is Fly More Than You Fall, a new musical. Absolutely. And then Premier Lifestyle Management. And of course, art consultant Gent as well. And so many other things. And there he is with his family. Mom, dad, and sis. We're very big about family here on the show and love my family as well. We didn't show this picture, but this is a cool picture as well. This is one of the model bartenders events. And yes, they are COVID prepared as well. And there with Patty LuPone. Is she in the middle of eating an apple or a cheese or something? But that's a great shot as well. And of course, there you go there. Cast and all these great shots over the years. There they are. And I think another cool shot. We talk there. That's how we all feel right now. So great guests coming up on the show. And as we always say, don't forget to smile. We always say this on the Jim Masters Show Live. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to share the lovity. Make sure you share the lovity. Again, that was a word that we just stumbled on. It became part of our show. And don't forget to find your Zen place. Mine is always with loving family and friends. And then, of course, tennis and cycling, music. Of course, the ocean speaks to me. That's one of my ultimate Zen places. You got to pull me out of the ocean. Growing up here on the East Coast, literally on the ocean here in Southern New England, grew up on the ocean on Long Island in New York. This picture actually, believe it or not, was taken in New York on Long Island. That's the Atlantic Ocean. That is Robert Moses State Park and Beach. And that is the actual Atlantic there. So the ocean for me, swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing it, sunsets, the ocean is a big thing for me, but also my, time in television and radio, multimedia, stage, on camera, on air, and behind the scenes, working for network and for public television as well, and commercial television and radio stations, production companies, emceeing at Carnegie Hall, all kinds of different things that I've had an opportunity to do over the years, commercials, hosting, all kinds of stuff, news, you name it, is a Zen place for me as well, working in the actual industry. Love it, love it, love it. And of course, love all of you. And as we always say on the Jim Masters Show Live, don't forget to relax. Breathe from the diaphragm. It's so good to do. Love one another. And of course, love yourself. In order to love one another, you got to love yourself, and not in an egotistical or greedy way, in a way that really reminds you of the value that you bring to the table. So relax and breathe. We show this at the end of every episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. And believe it or not, your host sometimes has to remember to relax too. Let's take a look at a couple of last minute comments here. Lily misses the beach. Yes, hopefully we'll be at it soon. We're blessed to be along the coast here. Thanks for tonight. Great show. Good night, Jim and everyone. Hugs and love. Stay safe and warm. You too, Mona. And Kathy Short says, good night, Jim. Join us tomorrow. Actor Sean Kanan is going to be with us. It's going to be a wonderful show, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Lily says, wonderful career, Jim. Somebody will have to interview you too. Have a great night. I love that idea. A couple of people have interviewed me over the years on different shows, but it is kind of cool when the role is reversed. Absolutely. Tesla Bella reporting for duty. And she says, Jim, you make the world a better place. Good night, dear friend. Good night to you as well, Tess. Love it. You be well. Christine says, Mark was great company tonight. A really fun evening together and fantastic words of wisdom. Thanks, Jim, for another great show. Good night, Jim and all. Thank you, Christine. Kathleen Walker says, have a great night. Good night, all. Thank you, Kathleen. Juanita, still with us late into the hour in South Africa. I almost said San Francisco. Great show once more. Thanks, Jim. Keep well, everyone. And good night. Another great show. You never disappoint. Thank you very much, Kathleen, the Queen of Queens as well. And Wozniak, thank you, Jim, for a fun and interesting evening. Good night to everyone. Mary Bishop says, good night, Jim and lovely friends. Thanks again for another wonderful show, Jim. You are very welcome, Mary. Fantastic guests. Thank you, Lily. And yes, you know, the cookies and milk, that sounds good right about now. I could go for some cookies and milk. Maybe a hot chocolate. And Tess says, I volunteer. Do you volunteer to swim with me in the ocean? Can you boogie board, Tess? Are you a boogie boarder? We'll go boogie boarding. Actually, I went boogie boarding. I've gone boogie boarding multiple times. One of the first times I went was in San Diego. If you were watching earlier, I was talking about when my college buddy and myself, when we graduated from college in New York, I was from New York, here's to Massachusetts. We went on a road trip and we went out to California for the summer, which was a lot of fun because we had friends that graduated the year before us. So they were already established in California and Costa Mesa. And I had have cousins in Huntington Beach and other areas. So we went out to California for the summer. And that was the very first time I went boogie boarding. And I think we were at La Jolla. It was either La Jolla which is a beautiful area, or we were at Balboa Beach or Mission Beach in San Diego. San Diego is beautiful too. I think Danilo, who watches us here on the show, is from San Diego. And we went boogie boarding, but you know, the waves, the Pacific Ocean, sometimes those waves are monstrous. The Atlantic can be too, but the pull of the waves were really something else. So we were boogie boarding, and I remember the first time I went, the boogie board, you know, it's like half a surfboard. We've done surfing too, but this was something cool. Leaning on it and you sort of ride the wave, but only half your body, the chest area, is on the boogie board and you're going forward and you want to catch the wave at the right point. Just like surfing, you want to catch the wave at the right time, not too early, not too late. So we caught it, but something happened. There was a little curvature to that wave that was a little bit advanced, and it pulled me down to the bottom of the ocean. Now, I don't know what the depth was. I don't even remember, but the wave, the power of the water sort of flipped me, almost ripped my bathing suit off. It might have actually, but I got it on before I rose to the surface. And the force of the current with that wave, I caught it perfectly, but then it curved too quickly and flipped us over. The others were flipped too, but I really was flipped. And I just remember going down to the bottom, still with the boogie board. You want to hang on to that boogie board because that's what's going to, you know, the velocity, the air, the bounce of it is going to bring you back up. So I'm clinging onto it like it's a Bible. But I remember going down and I banged my head on the ocean floor. I was like, boing, what the hell is going on? But by hanging onto the boogie board, whoosh, just came right back up. And it was amazing. It didn't stop me from doing it, but it was just a wave. And, you know, the Pacific, the waves can be monstrous. And what happened was they weren't in the beginning. They were pretty good, but one wave started coming in after the other. And I just remember there was a pier that goes out into the ocean. I don't know, it was Mission Beach or Balboa in San Diego. And they just kept saying, get away from, telling everybody with the bullhorn, megaphone, don't go, get away from the pier, get away from the pier. Anybody that was in the water, swimming, surfing, floating, just stay away from the pier because, you can be thrown up against those poles, at the pier. You never want to be near the pier poles anywhere in the ocean or anywhere, but it was a cool experience. We've done it multiple times. We've boogie boarded in Florida and Miami and Daytona and other areas. But I love the ocean too. And Tess says she does too. Tess says she loves the ocean. I love the ocean. Hope you can come to it. I know we're hoping to get down there soon. We didn't make it down to see the family for the holidays with COVID and everything, but we're hoping to get down there soon. So we've got a lot of family and friends in the Sunshine State. We have family all over the country, family in Canada, Europe. Big family everywhere. You used to put the boogie board at edge of pool, run, jump, and stand surf across swimming pool. So you did it along the swimming pool. Mission Beach is fabulous. Definitely your Zen place. Yeah. Yeah, it can be frightening if you are dragged to the bottom of the ocean and you bang your head. Well, I need it. Oh, now South Africa, that part of the world, the ocean is unforgiving there too. In certain areas, I don't know about you guys, but I love watching the shows on Discovery and other channels with the surfers, the ones who go out to like Maui and other places around the world where those waves are like 50 to 60 feet high. And they're just tackling those waves like it's nothing. I mean, sometimes there's a lot of injuries, but I just find the power of the ocean and just watching them smoothly surf it the best that they can. Just watching the ocean, just watching the size of those waves. Whenever I can catch the shows on television, it's usually something like a Discovery or, some of those other channels that have those shows where they have the surfers. I just love those shows because not only am I admiring the expertise of the athlete, the surfer, but also the great respect and power of the ocean and just seeing the size of the waves, 80-foot waves. Sometimes you want to be on the right side of the wave. And there are times when you shouldn't even be in the ocean at all, especially when they say there's riptides, get out, and sharks. Sometimes there are some sharks here and there. I've never seen one myself. I've seen stingrays, and of course you see jellyfish. They're not so fun. It's amazing. I was on a television shoot about 2-3 years ago in Miami, and it was in August, and it was beautiful. We visited Coral Gables as well, but we were staying in Miami because we were doing a filming with the PBS affiliate in Miami. And I was at the beach. I said, hey, I'm in Miami. I want to go in the Atlantic here too. If there's a beach, I want to go to it. So we're in it, and it was August, and the water was literally like bath water. It was it must have been 85, 90 degrees, the ocean. It was beautiful. It was really, really nice. It was some of the warmest ocean water I was ever in. Although, Bermuda, we went to Bermuda in August, and it was very warm, really beautiful. But the water just happened to be really warm when we were in Miami at that time. But then I went the next day, and it was beautiful and it was warm. But we saw in the water floating, and they were very clear. You couldn't really see them unless you looked. These monster jellyfish, probably this big, if not bigger. And they were clear. It was like clear cellophane just floating. Circular cellophane floating in the ocean, in the Atlantic, on the beach there in Miami. And I'm like, well, yesterday these weren't here. I mean, I was floating, I was swimming, I was, I went not all the way out, but I was far enough out where there was no bottom, and there were other people there, and there were kids and everything. And I'm like, boy, where'd these jellyfish come from? The next day, there was no jellyfish there when we were there, because if we were there and we saw all these jellyfish. I don't think we would be in the ocean floating and just having a good time. And people were saying, no, Jim, they were there yesterday. You just didn't see them because they're clear, and now you can see them. That was amazing. That was something else. We went in, but we didn't go as far in as we did the day before, but it was nice and warm. Yes, they look like those UFO things in the ocean, some of them. Sometimes you see the red ones too. Thank you, Mona. Thank you very much. You know, you're in Louisiana. We have family in Louisiana from New Orleans. Yep. My cousin's husband's family, my cousin in Massachusetts, Susie and her husband, Adrian, they have a beautiful lakefront home in northern Massachusetts that they built, and we go up there in the summers too. They're on the Massachusetts-New Hampshire line. It's really beautiful, and outside their kitchen window, they're on this lake, and you can see the top of Mount Monadnock in New Hampshire. My cousin Susie's husband, Adrian, and his family are all from New Orleans, and boy, can he cook. He's a great cook. And some of those rubs and spices and coffees that you sent me as a gift, Mona, my cousin Adrian would know exactly what to do with those in seconds because he's really, really fantastic as a cook. Some of you have sent some wonderful gifts. And this weekend, we're going to open those packages. Gary Troyer from Iowa sent a really meaningful gift. 2 gifts, actually, which I was very surprised by. And this beautiful heartfelt letter that he wrote that really is very touching. And Wozniak, you did as well. You sent a wonderful gift. And Debbie Tosin Kilday, who was that wonderful author and poet who was a guest and was a dear friend. She was on our show last week. She sent me some wonderful books of hers as well. And I want to thank all of you. And there's some more gifts. I still have to show you the gifts that I got for Christmas from Mary Bishop. And I think one came in from Christine Clifton. And anything that Tess has sent has already been devoured. Tess, everything's been, I think it lasted a week, and Anne sent these pecans over the holidays, chocolate covered pecans, and Mary Bishop sent beautiful things. You guys are something else. Juanita says, we have a celebrity stingray in your harbor. He was once taken to an aquarium after a petition he had to be released again. Oh, so they had a petition. They wanted him released. That's a cool story, Juanita. Love your photos too, Juanita. I was standing on San Diego Pier, looked down, surfer guys were waving at me, and I at them, and it was cool. That sounds like a movie from the 70s where the surfer dudes are waving back and forth. Yes, Point Break with Patrick Swayze. Patrick was another great, not only a great dancer, but a great actor. We lost him way, way too soon, huh? Yes, Tesco's boogie boards are awesome. I agree. They really, really are. Did we have a fun time with Mark Levine tonight? Absolutely. He and I have known each other for a while, and I invited him we talked about him being on the show as my guest. I think it was back in November. Way back in November, we were trying to pick a date. But, we've been so booked, and we, once in a while taking a night off here and there just to be with family and also to catch up on other work because these shows take a lot of time and effort. There's so much work that goes on behind the scenes to put all these shows together, all the emails, the follow-up, the production elements, just the marketing and promotion, all of it. But a couple of things. We are working on the Lovity Cruise. Just want to remind you, I know you guys want to go on a Lovity Cruise. So the Jim Master Show Lovity Cruise, we are working on. And I know you guys have been asking for Lovity merch. I'm such a wordsmith. I really still want to say the word merchandise. I know everybody says merch, but being a wordsmith and a communicator and a broadcaster, I just want to say merchandise. So anyway, the merch, the shirts, the mugs, the hats, everything that says Lovity and all the rest, we are working on all of that. So stay tuned, my fair friends. We are working on that as well. Uh-oh. Am I going to have to do another belt buckle, Tesla Bella? I will send another package soon, my friend, just because We should have Aunt Marion join us over the weekend since it's Valentine's weekend. Yes, it's Valentine's weekend. Ralph Lampkin is watching. Ralph Lampkin Jr. watching from Indiana, our dear friend. It's been a lovely interview, you two. Bravo. Thank you very much, Ralph. Glad you can tune in as well, my friend. I appreciate that. Good, sir. Maureen says, go with the swag instead of merch, right? Go with swag. Swag sounds good. I like that. I love that, Tess. Thank you very much. And you can't wait for the Levity merchandise, Kathleen. I know you would sport it all over New York City. I know that you will. Can't wait till we get together, Kathleen. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Vaccines are out. Well, just keep our fingers crossed, right? You know, again, if you missed an episode or want to see this episode again, 24/7, all of the episodes are on the Jim Masters TV channel. That's where you can find the Jim Masters Show live. Love it if you could share, tell everybody about our YouTube channel. Share the levity, spread the word about our channel, spread the word about our show. The more the merrier. You know, so many new people are discovering our show. So many people watch live and they post and comment. And then there's a whole roster of people who just watch and they don't post comments. And then there's those who watch later in the archives. And they binge watch on demand. That's terrific too. Whether you're watching us live now or you watch this later, everybody is welcome to watch. You don't have to watch live. You can watch it later in our archives. But I know a lot of you like to be here while the show is live because there's just something cool about the interaction of live, you know, and having done so much live television and radio and stage work over the years, I love live too. Tess goes, oh, that would be lovely. Aunt Marion would love that. A surprise visit from Aunt Marion over Levity Weekend. Levity Weekend is coming up. It's Valentine's Day, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully soon, fingers crossed. Yes, we'll be partying and painting the town, the Big Apple, redder than it already is, my friend, very soon, Kathleen. All right, gang. So again, reminder, actor Sean Kanan is here tomorrow. Yes, you know him from General Hospital and from Young and the Restless, but he's involved in so many more cool things. He'll be with us tomorrow live from LA, also live from California. Cammie Kotler's here on Friday from The Waltons. And again, another big show Saturday, Brian Dunphy, wonderful Irish singer, songwriter, musician. He's spreading the word. He's posting it in all the Irish groups and so much more. He's going to be live from Ireland. That's 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. in Ireland, Scotland, and England this Saturday, Valentine's Day weekend. Going to be cool. And of course, you can always find the Jim Masters Show live daily at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We love that. I think we've taken care of everything here. Lin is going to make an appearance on the Jim Masters Show live this weekend. I know you love Lin. You've got Silver back there, the Silver Lab, who I got on a TV shoot in Switzerland. Jimmy the Clown is there, and there's Gilligan. Dream Denver, Bob Denver, who played Gilligan, his wonderful, fabulous wife, Levity viewer, wonderful friend, guest of our show, is going to be back on our show. Dream of Denver is coming back at the end of March, towards the end of March. The reason why? She's got a new book out. She's got another new book. So Dream of Denver is going to be joining us as well. Boy, we've got so many amazing people that are coming on. Oh boy, I can't tell you who it is yet. Well, we've got one of the original stars of West Side Story joining us very, very soon. Yes. And then we've got somebody very special who is connected to Bob Hope joining us. Oh my, we've got so many incredible. We've got a fantastic young singer. I'll tell you who she is in an upcoming episode. She's in her teens, and she's a really popular up-and-coming singer, and she's going to join us as well. All different generations, all different age groups, all different backgrounds. This show isn't geared towards one particular age group or one particular gender or one particular topic or format. It's an entertainment lifestyle talk show series. Again, patterned like the ones of the past, where you get into some really good, warm, fun conversation, and then a lot of variety. And that's what we love. Every day, something different on our show. So Lin will be making an appearance this weekend, and you'd love to see Aunt Marion too. Yes. Christine says, Lovity cruise and merchandise. Absolutely. Juanita says, our vaccine situation is a disaster. It started off kind of rough here too. Our COVID situation here in the States has been awful. And the UK as well. We're starting to make inroads. You guys have that South African variant, that mutation, that variant that has made it rough. And there's one from Brazil and one from, I think, the UK. I believe all of them have made their way to the United States, unfortunately. I think the South African one has been found in Virginia and South Carolina. So, they're scrambling, the companies here that made Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, of course, Pfizer, who made the vaccines. Bless them all. They're looking to see how they can tweak it so it can handle the mutations and the variants. That's the thing about this COVID. It's unbelievable. Even though it's not live, it seems to have a mind of its own and wants to linger by having these mutations and these variants. And the longer it's around, that's what happens with viruses. So hopefully, fingers crossed, a lot of people here in the States are getting vaccinated. I think right now we're at a point where there's more vaccinations happening than there are new cases, finally. But they do suggest even when you get vaccinated, still wear the masks for a while and still social distance, because they got to see how everything works out. So that's important. So blessings to all around the world, and good luck to everybody wherever you are around the world as well. And again, this was really a terrific episode. I can't believe we actually went 3 hours. It's been a while since we've done a 3-hour show, just like Gilligan went on a 3-hour tour. Yep. The little bit of vaccine that you got is not effective. Luckily, you'll have a 92% recovery rate without. So the vaccine, the little bit of vaccine you got not being effective. So you need more. Yeah, you guys need some more shipped your way for sure, Juanita. Boy, you're up late. I hope you get to sleep in tomorrow. Or it is tomorrow. What am I talking about? It is tomorrow for you. Well, gang, we're going to wrap up. It's 10 o'clock here. We started the show at 7. A 3-hour tour, just like Gilligan. We're going to be doing some more singing. I know you guys have asked me to do some more singing. We haven't really done a lot of that on the Jim Master Show Live, but we'll have to, kick that into gear. All right, class dismissed. You guys are the best. We love you all. Thanks for joining us in this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. You guys are a blessing. Love seeing you guys and all your posts on the Facebook pages and all the levity there at Jim Masters TV and Instagram and Twitter at Jim Masters TV. Love you all. Be safe, be well, be happy. Share the levity. We'll be here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, with actor Sean Kanan. Again, one more thank you to MARC LEVINE for joining us tonight. Right back at you, Kathleen Walker in New York City. You guys are the best. Love you too, Tesla Bella. Love you, Jim. Good night. No one like you, XO. Thank you very much. And good night, lovities. You too, Tess and Jennifer Barry, with all her icons and emojis, hearts, and all kinds of good stuff. You be well. Is that an arm? Is that an icon? Is that an emoji of an arm, like for strength or for the vaccine? That's cool if they've made one of those already. All right, gang. You be well. We toast you all. And thanks for watching this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. Thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, we'll be back tomorrow. Same bat channel right here. Hope you're here as well. If you missed the shows, again, they're all there for you on our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. Avida Zane, good night. Ciao. Cheers. Thank you very much. So are you, Kathy, in Cleveland. You're a blessing, Jim. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All beautiful people in our community of lovities we've created here. And it just continues to grow, Love it, love it, love it. Icon of mountain and is that what that is? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I see the mountain and I see the ocean. You got them both covered. Mountain woman, ocean boy. We'll meet in the middle. We'll meet in the valley. We'll meet in a lake or a river. Good night, Jennifer Barry. Get ready to wiggle. The Jim Masters theme song is going to come on in just a second with the Jim Masters Singers and Orchestra. You guys ready? Cue up the band. I know you like to dance to our theme music, Jennifer. So that is coming up for you and for everybody else. We shall see you guys tomorrow. Be well. Have a good day. And if you don't have a good day, you know where to come to put a smile on your face right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.